Welcome to the Juice Box with Juice Springsteen, covering the week that was in professional wrestling. And hello, everybody. Welcome to the Juice Box live for the first time in a normal scheduled episode. We did the Raw on Netflix debut a while back, I believe, like early last year. But this is episode 200, and I've decided to do a live episode. And it's not going to be a traditional episode, it's going to be kind of just a hodgepodge. We're going to talk about AEW stuff, WWE stuff, current things going on, a lot of news that's been going on recently. But primarily, I'd like to invite a lot of different people on. Hopefully, some of the people I've reached out to, some guests will filter in, and I will add them to the show, and we can chat and go back and forth and talk about whatever topics we'd like. Don't know how long this is going to go. Maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. Hopefully, not too long. I know this is a random Thursday night, but we're doing it. We're doing it live, and this will be the show that airs tomorrow in the regular Juice Box feed. So without further ado, follow me on Twitter at Juicy Steen, at Juicy Wrestling Closet on Instagram, and you can listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, juicysteen.podbean.com, youtube.com at Juicy Steen as well. And if you do listen to the show via Apple Podcasts on iTunes or on Spotify, leave a rating and review. It does help the show grow. So looking forward to this one. I don't really know what to expect. We could get nobody in here and I wouldn't be shocked. We could get a ton of random people in here. Wouldn't be shocked. It might just be me for the entirety of this episode, but that's okay too. This is what we do in the Juice Box. I know everybody's got their own thing cooking, and I'm just looking to have a good time here to celebrate episode 200 here on the Juice Box. So pretty cool. I got to say, it's pretty cool to have even made it to this, to 200, 300, you kidding me? But just 200 is pretty wild. Started this venture, I believe, January of 2023. If you're aware of different times that I have been a part of wrestling content creation, it's been pretty consistent throughout the years, where I have been on YouTube, and I did Chair Shot Reality for a few years as well, as you all know, and then now doing the Juice Box as a solo entity in other collaborations. We'll talk about that stuff later on as well, but just been doing this wrestling content thing for, I don't know, north of 15 years. And with the Juice Box, I feel like I've found my groove to where I could talk to more people, reach out to more people, and just kind of help grow the quote IWC or whatever this is. Fans, friends, collaborators, colleagues. I kind of look at it all the same because we all love wrestling at the end of the day. So that's what I'm really trying to do with the Juice Box in general. But I mean, you know what this is. It's a wrestling podcast. We're going to talk wrestling. And it looks like we do have someone already in the queue to discuss pro wrestling. Now, this gentleman I have met before. We have not done any collaborations together yet, where he's going to be on here for this show. And I think I'd like to get him on for an AEW preview show down the line. So let's see if we can add him to the show here.
Hey.
And there he is. Introduce yourself to the Juice Box fandom out here.
Phil. What's going on, guys? My name is Phil. Phil, we met the whole thing, but I do pro wrestling content all across the spaces here. I mean, I started on TikTok back in 2020 when the world was shut down and I literally had nothing to do. But I saw just a random wrestling content creator on TikTok and I was like, hey, wait a minute. If somebody else is doing this, I can do this too. So I might as well give it a try. And I started doing the TikTok thing, expanded to YouTube, done YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, all the things. Phil We Met is just the name across everything. If you guys want to check it out, but man, it's a great time being on here because Juice, you
Yeah,
and I, like you said, have met before at an
yeah.
AEW show. Been following your stuff for quite some time. And in this crazy world that we all know as professional wrestling, it's a really good thing to see having somebody like you and so many others in this space that just take it from a genuine, real approach instead of just going just completely bonkers and just making things all about just the randomness that is professional wrestling. You take it as a genuine kind of way. And I absolutely love that. So I appreciate you having me on here, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate you hopping in, and I think there is a distinct human element to what this is,
Yeah.
and I think that a lot of people overlook that and just, you know, they take a sports approach, which we talked earlier today, like how wrestling is not really sports, but they take a sports
Right.
approach of like, I gotta be a fan of this or this, and how dare you like that because I hate that. That's like by nature you shouldn't. You hate that, so I hate you. It's like it's so confrontational when this.
I've never been about that philosophy whatsoever.
No, and this world is confrontational and problematic as is, and this is supposed to be that escape from that.
Right.
So it's nice to have like-minded people. I met you at Dynasty in
Yes.
Philly, which was pretty wild. Um, it was just a whirlwind of a weekend for me. I worked, I drove all the way out across the state, and then I got in and went to the show, and then I drove back the next day.
That's
Um,
exactly what I did too. Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty crazy, but that was a hell of a show, and it was my first AEW pay-per-view and the first pay-per-view for AEW in Pennsylvania, which was pretty cool as well. So
Yeah. You thinking we got another show that's coming in our stratosphere, like in that New York area. I'm
yeah,
thinking about going when it comes down to Double or Nothing.
yeah,
Um, but at the end of the day, man, it was a great time meeting you in person because at the end of the day, we were all talking just in the matter of weeks at the time when Dynasty was about to show up in
yeah.
Philly. And I didn't expect to meet anybody there, but then I saw that green hat of yours and I was like, "Wait a minute, that is the man Juice." So,
Um,
it was a really cool time meeting you, man, and, hopefully one day soon we can, get this going again.
Yeah, for sure. I'd definitely like to have you on potentially for just a preview, like a prediction show for an AEW pay per view. I think that would be
That'd be cool.
pretty cool to do. Yeah. So let's talk a little AEW while I got you on here. Like I said, we're just kind of flying by the seat of my pants.
Okay.
People are just gonna come in. I don't know how many. I think I can have up to 10 people on. I don't anticipate that at the same time.
Yeah.
So we'll see who kind of flows in, and you can hang out for as long as you'd like. So we'll kind of do what we got to do here.
I mean, I'm good for however long you take this, so, I mean, it is
All
what
right.
it is, so we're all
Cool. We'll
good
have
here.
it's almost like a panel, which is kind of what I wanted. I didn't
Yeah.
want to just sit here talking because I do that every single week. So, in regards to AEW, with Dynamite last night, I mean, the big talking point is the stipulation with Hangman and
Right.
MJF, and I mean, everybody's kind of discussed how they kind of backed themselves into a corner or what have you. My question to you though is, they did leave an out where MJF said, "Oh, I'm gonna, think about this. I'll marinate on it for a week." Do you think that's just lip service to make us think, well, maybe they will actually figure this out, or are we seriously going to go the Cody Rhodes path where Hangman either never challenges for this championship ever again, or we take the title off a guy who just won it in December?
First of all, I think when it came down to that, I here's the thing, another thing about me, guys, is that I do watch alongs weekly for these things. So when I hear this and my chat's freaking out saying, "Oh my god, this is Cody Rhodes 2.0 all over again." I was
Yeah.
like, first of all, that's immediately what I thought as well. And secondly, I was like, "Oh boy, what is AEW doing here?" Because MJF should not be losing right now. And if anything, Hangman Adam Page not being in the world title picture, that shouldn't happen in my eyes. So I was like, what is AEW going to do here? I think ultimately what it is going to boil down to is that we are going to continue, like, we're going to continue this path. We are going to go down that route of Hangman Adam Page potentially not challenging for the world championship ever again. And that is a crazy statement to even say. But I feel like there's something a lot more like there's a lot more things in between the lines that I feel like is AEW going to be talking about with this, possibly with the heel turn that we saw in the main event and Swerve
Yes.
Strickland, and how Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland, their rivalry has changed Hangman Adam Page to be this man we never even realistically thought he ever could have been before. He can turn that switch, become a psycho, and ultimately maybe turn his back on the word that he said and
Hmm.
do something to a point where at the end of the day, there's no real hero for AEW to try to get back that world championship inside the good graces of the company.
Right.
And that's when possibly somebody like Will Ospreay, whenever he can come back, come
Yep,
on
he's coming
in.
back for sure.
Yeah,
They've been hyping him up.
come on in to AEW All in London and get the world championship back on a
Hmm.
babyface once again. So, I mean, I think when it ultimately boils down to is that maybe considering that Cody Rhodes was refusing the point of him turning heel in
Sure.
AEW and how that kind of messed up everything for him and exiting AEW at the time, maybe Hangman Adam Page doesn't refuse, turns, goes back on his word, and then tries to
Hmm.
go after that world championship. Because at the end of the day, if Swerve is going to do anything to get back to that world title scene, what makes anybody think Hangman Adam Page wouldn't be able to do that as well?
Right, and with Swerve being involved, and I know it. A lot of people are saying that he, quote, officially turned heel, but the people that he's turning on or doing these things to are all in the same realm. They're all the elite,
Right.
Hangman and the Bucks and Kenny. So to me, he's just taking out people he doesn't like that are a part of the same group.
He's just
Um,
Swerve. Like it
right,
like
right, because people are gonna like him regardless. And he
yeah.
even did he does the Who's House taunt. And to me, when you're calling to the fans to say your taunt back, it's like, well, you want the fans, to be on your side. So
Yeah.
he's in between there, a tweener, as they say. He's walking that fine line. But when you put Kenny Omega through the announce table like he did, it's like, okay, he's a little bit more dastardly than a traditional like in between guy. But
He's gonna do absolutely anything in his power to get back what is his, and what he believes is his is that world championship. So I mean,
right,
if it's gonna have to be taking somebody out like Kenny Omega in order to make that happen for himself, he's gonna do whatever it takes.
yeah, for sure. So I don't know ultimately what they're going to end up doing with Hangman and the stipulation. I kind of hope I brought up maybe why couldn't Hangman have just said, well, I don't want like I won't challenge for any championship you hold MJF until the end of time instead of purely the world championship as a whole because
Yeah.
taking yourself out of the world title picture, like it's fine for if you told me right now Hangman Adam Page will never win the AEW world title again, that's fine. But the fact that he could never even be in matches where I could be led to believe he'll win it is
Right.
another thing altogether because then it's like I can never think he can get to another level. I know there's so many other championships, but when he's reached the top of the mountain, it does seem like a drop off. And oh, he's only going for the national title. He's only going for the TNT. Like you want to have
And
something that's sustained. And as a former world champion, it makes sense. When Cody did it, it was so early in the run. He wanted to kind of make the fans know that in real life, I'm not I'm not going to give myself the world championship. And it ended up costing him. Hangman's
yeah,
been to the top of the mountain, so it's not like it's the end of the world him never doing it, but never even being in contention, I think is what bothers a lot of fans.
for sure. And the thing is, when it comes down to it, and a lot of people are even asking me, like, Phil, is this like before everybody kind of figured out the whole Cody Rhodes situation, they were thinking that it was just him not going after the world championship for as long as MJF is champion. That's not what's happening here. That's
Right.
not what the whole stipulation is. And that's not the wording. Because if that was the wording, he would have flat out said, I won't challenge for the world championship for as long as you're champion. It's ever again. So that right there is just a huge sticking point. And I feel like everybody at the time was just trying to figure out what's really going on. But then as it kind of settled into everybody and like kind of like figured out in everybody's mind, like, oh, wait a minute, this is actually serious here, has a lot more weight to it than what people realized. So
For
we'll
sure, and
see.
yeah, we will see. It's all it takes is a week to find out. Like, are they going to switch it back? Are they going to go back on the whole sit? Like, is MJF going to say? Is MJF going to kind of be a babyface in a way by saying like, "Now I want to beat you multiple times as champion. Therefore, I'm gonna take that stipulation away." I also don't think MJF's just gonna want to do a Texas death match either. I think that was
No.
kind of like the tit for
Yeah.
tat, like I'll do this if you do this type of match. So I don't know what they'll come up with. Um, but like we said it pigeonholes booking, and it gives you only so many options. You want to have every avenue available. You don't want to be like, well, it's only this or it's only this, because not everybody's gonna like either. You want to have more of a chance that something sticks instead of only two options. It really thins you out, especially when you're, Tony Khan, for lack of a better term, he is the guy calling all the shots. I'm sure there's
Correct.
some
Yeah.
ideas for booking that gets thrown around and he'll take those, but he's ultimately making a lot of these decisions at the end of the day.
Right.
And when you got all that on your plate and you have a decision like this, I don't know where you stand. So I guess in a
Yeah.
week we'll find out.
And the thing is, when it came down to Hangman just saying Texas death, like that's going to be our stipulation until MJF most likely picks another one. I was like,
Right.
Texas death again? Really? I like
Yeah.
I like it whenever like Texas death comes around. But first of all, we're going to Los Angeles, so that doesn't even really make
Yeah.
any sense. And
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I told Drew he was out of his mind for everywhere has to be a Texas death match, but I mean, it's been that way forever.
yeah,
Yet, my problem is that they just did it at All In.
right.
What 7, 8 months ago? So like, you could come up with something else. I don't know.
I would personally like to see an Iron Man match once again in AEW. I would
Wow,
love that.
I would like that too. Was that MJF was a part of that one, wasn't he?
It was Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, with Danielson. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate that. And you know what? You might be onto something considering MJF was in it. He could say, "Hey, like I've been through this before. You
If
have
I can
not."
go 60 minutes, let's see if you can test the limits.
Now that's do we want do we really want that there, Phil?
I don't know
Do
if
we
it
want
would
to
go 60 minutes, but
well,
I'm
do we
just
want a 4-hour pay-per-view to potentially go longer because of a
I mean, we already
guaranteed
get that
hour
anyway.
long? Yeah.
But I mean, but I'm like, that was the last one. That was the only one I could really go off on. So I was like, if you
Yeah.
want to go
No, that makes
if
sense
you
to
want
me.
to go to distance, let's really go to distance here. So I mean, and it's kind of crazy. This was a rematch from last year's Revolution. I didn't even realize
And
that until
I
last week.
neither did I, and I think I saw did it open the show?
Um,
You can
I
check that.
believe so.
I
I
saw I
believe
because I
so.
just looked that up recently and noticed that, and I was like, "Oh, they're just kinda," but they haven't mentioned anything like that. Maybe they will,
Right.
or it's really not that important. I don't know, but
I
I feel like
believe
they'll bring
so.
up something. I'm pretty sure they might have been the opener.
2025. If anything, yeah, that probably was the opener from what yeah, that was the opener.
Hmm,
Yeah.
okay. Wow.
It,
Oh, that's
it's kind of crazy,
yeah.
but I mean, we'll see what happens.
We
I'm looking
will.
forward to it either way. I mean, I
I am
love these
too.
two.
And yeah, and AEW has always gone above and beyond on pay-per-view, and their recent TVs have been so good that it gives me even more like, okay, great. Not that I think, oh, now you're gonna have a pay-per-view that's gonna suck, like all of a sudden.
Right, yeah.
But now you're really stringing along good TV. Let's keep going. Let's knock it out of the park. So speaking of adding people to the TV, we've got a few more people coming in. This is where we're gonna test the limits of my bandwidth and StreamYard's capability of holding people in. We have two more people. We're going to add one at a time slowly to see if it works. So we're first going to add
Okay.
in great friend of the show, collaborator and colleague on No Dirt, Just Dialogue. Let's see. Jordan Carter.
Hey, Jordan,
What's
what's
up,
up,
y'all?
man?
I'm
What's
going
up,
to see if
Phil?
I can we'll do like this.
All
There we
right.
go.
This is
Yeah.
getting kind of crazy.
I got a center in my face there, but there we go. We're good.
Oh, we
Yeah,
can do this. We can do this.
yeah, I like
I
this.
might
I
be able
like
to do
this.
another one here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
What's
How you
up,
doing,
man? How you
Jordan?
guys doing?
Welcome to the 200th episode of the Juice Box.
I'm glad to be here. I've been wanting to do the Juice Box for a while now, so I'm glad to be here on this monumental episode. It does not many shows make it to 200, and here you are. So this is great. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Because I definitely listen. One thing I do want to point out, is, since
Sure.
I'm here, I
Sure.
love your affinity for WCW, and that's one of the reasons why I really love the Juice Box. No, because you have a very unique way of putting WCW in this time capsule to be respected and not like made fun of. A lot of people like to look back at WCW and like
Fair.
point at the flaws and make fun of, but you
Yep.
you contextualize what WCW was and also what it wasn't. And I really, really enjoy your appreciation for WCW. So I'm glad to be here. Very much glad to be here.
And it helps somebody like me who really did not grow up watching that kind of era. It helped me learn a little bit. So
I love when Juice tweets out his random WCW stuff. He'll share a clip from this or share a clip from that, and it's really, really, because it brings me back. Because I'll tell you, I just turned 35, a little old. And WCW was the first promotion that like I was locked into. Like I would watch WWF, but my parents wouldn't really let me watch it, because it was the Attitude Era. So they were okay with me watching WCW. So when I tell you I was locked into WCW, I was locked. I loved every single bit of WCW. You could not take me away from NWO to GI Bro. To
my God.
to the what was it? The group that Hogan was supposed to face, something of Doom. I cannot remember.
The Dungeon of Doom.
Dungeon of Doom. There it is. From Dungeon of Doom to New Blood Rising. Like
it's so cool.
Yeah.
Dungeon of Doom. Don't get me started.
There's plenty of stuff that's less than ideal.
Right.
Yeah. But the WCW to me, and Juice, I want to ask, because I've always wanted to ask you this. For me, what brought me in for WCW was I love the bright colors at the time. I love the larger than life characters that they had. And what really drew me in was getting to see luchadors at the beginning of the show. I'll tell you, that's what really, because I knew, well, hey, at the rest, I got to see this cool guy do this flip. And now I'm settled in. Now I get to kind of watch my soap opera. I got the physicality that I wanted. I got the good wrestling that I wanted. Now I get to see the rest of the show. I get to see kind of this soap opera play out. So I'll ask you, what really drew you into WCW? I know we were talking about other things, but what drew you into WCW?
And I'll get to that in a moment. Everybody that's in the queue, be patient, because I also don't want to, like I said earlier, I don't want to destroy the bandwidth. I have no idea how it's going to all set up. So
I thought people were talking in the private chat, but okay, now we're good.
Yeah, so we'll see. It's all working thus far, so we'll test the waters. And then at some point, if I tell someone to go, it's only for a time being, and then once people clear out, we can kind of reset it again. So
yeah, if I ever have to get out of here, just yell at me. Just yell at me to get the hell out of here, and I'll be good.
Phil's the first one in. He's the first one to leave. So we'll add a couple people here in a moment. Just be patient. But to your question, Jordan, what drew me in was just my dad. And my dad grew up watching Georgia Championship Wrestling growing up, and then that turned into NWA, and then he has me at a very young age. He was 24, and he just I'm going to get to the bottom of this whenever because I'm doing an episode of the SIP series with him. So that's my interview series with people that have had wrestling in their lives in one way or the other. I've had Conrad Thompson, Sam Adonis, local sports broadcasters, plenty of different people coming through to just hear their story of how they became a wrestling fan or how they became in the business or whatever. I'm going to do that with my dad later this year because it's going to celebrate 30 years since we went to Monday Nitro in '96.
Oh wow!
I was 3 years old. and I don't remember it, but we made it on TV when Hacksaw Jim Duggan comes out. We're also on early on, like behind the announcers, because we got pretty good seats back then. It wasn't as corporate as you say now, Jordan, as you guys talked about on the Wrestling Collective.
Nah.
But
Probably not that expensive either.
no, so he had me, and my mom would watch. Like, he grew up watching wrestling, so like they would just have it on in the background. We'd always watch Nitro, tape Raw, and that was just my bread and butter. Like, I grew up with Hulk Hogan as a bad guy. I never had Hulkamania. Like, Sting was my Hulk Hogan, and it was just a unique perspective of how to go through things. And once WCW was over, like, I stopped watching for 4 years and only got hooked back in with John Cena and No Way Out 2005 being in the city that I live in. And I was like, wow, like wrestling, as if I was so naive, like, oh, as if wrestling revolves around me. Like, oh, they still do wrestling even though I wasn't
It
watching
still goes on.
It's still
Yeah,
happening?
so I was like, damn, okay. And we bought WrestleMania 21, and that had been the first pay-per-view we bought since like a mid 98 WCW show. And that was it. And I've been like hooked on wrestling since and never looked back. So I really attribute it to my dad growing up watching wrestling. And for whatever reason, just like continuing that. Like, that's what I want to ask him, is like, what I don't know if he ever thought like, oh, you'll be a fan, or like, I want you to be a fan, or whatever that reason was, but he had wrestling on and never decided to, like, I just loved it. So I guess he just kept it going. I don't know. It's pretty wild, honestly, but I don't know. It's WCW is just so unique. Like, I always tell people, it was never polished or as polished as WWE used to be, even through the Attitude Era. Like, it's still very, not a lot of miscues with timing and stuff. WCW was kind of just like chaos on TV, and car crash TV later on with Russo, which was in a negative sense. But I just loved everything about WCW. It was unique. I talked about this with Kyle from the Apron Bump the other day, talking about World War III. Like, no other company was doing that. They were doing 30-man Royal Rumbles, but they weren't doing 3 rings with 60 guys. And they weren't doing they weren't doing pay-per-views at the Sturgis Biker Rally. And like, I know 3 rings in a arena cut costs on attendance, and having a free no gate show for 4 straight years at the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, hemorrhaged money, but it looked cool and it was unique. And
It's
it
so
was
hectic.
Nobody else was doing
If
stuff like that.
If
It's just
either
so cool.
company right now, either American company, either of them, the major
Right.
3 American companies were to do a show now at outdoors, I'm talking a true like WCW did, it
Really
would go-
outdoors, yeah.
it would be gangbusters. It would be so good because the visual is just so different. Like, I loved Hog Wild and Road Wild.
Same.
loved
I think those were fun atmospheres.
very fun atmosphere. And then you had the WCW Viva La, what was it called? God.
Oh, it was Club La Vela for
Club La
the
Vela,
spring break shows they would have on Nitro. Which, again,
Where-
you have
where
a
you're
bunch
having-
of college kids going to Nitro, and there's a
You got
pool.
a pool around the ring. We got a pool. Like
and for
think about the spots
any-
you could have.
Well, they did, and a lot of any younger listeners or just unfamiliar with those shows.
This is me right now, so please
Phil,
educate me.
if you're
'cause what
Phil,
the-
go ahead. Yeah,
I
check
literally
out-
have no idea what you're talking about, but it sounds cool as hell.
Hey, I love opening up the world of professional wrestling to those who might not be as familiar.
Give
Just
me
look
my
up-
homework, please.
Look up the WCW Nitro episodes that were just under the spring break catalog, and they went to it was Club La Vela. I think it was just in, I want to say Fort Lauderdale, but I could be way off. But it was a spring break themed episode, and the ring was on a little set that was surrounded by a pool at the club. So you walked on this like ramp like you'd get on a boat, but it was a ring. Yeah, and it was just, I don't know. Everything they did Bash the Beach 95 at Huntington Beach on the beach.
I
literally
knew
on the
that.
beach.
I knew
So
that,
they've-
and I saw that show. Like I
Yeah,
went back
I
and
think-
watched that.
So
I think that was-
Phil, are you familiar with the Sturgis Bike Rally? So
no,
in
no.
Sturgis, there's a famous bike rally that's been going on for decades. Where
Yeah.
if you are a biker, that's where you show up, right?
Okay.
and WCW did
It's Sturgis, South Dakota. If you're unfamiliar,
yeah. WCW did a whole pay-per-view around that event. So think about a pay-per-view where surrounding the ring are nothing but bikers and their bikes. That
and all the every time they would
visual alone right there. Yeah.
the audience reaction was just they were told to just rev their bikes.
Just rev the engines. Okay.
And
Okay.
Yeah, so like you watch these shows, sometimes it gets annoying. It's all you hear is
right.
Right.
I would think so.
But it was a great visual, and they tried stuff. That's one thing I loved about, and that's one thing, to tie it back to up to date. I would like to see more companies do. I would like to see them try. That's why TNA, when they were doing the 6-sided ring, was cool. Doing the
Ultimate X.
Ultimate X, there it is.
And then they did Elevation X, which was the same thing, but it was a scaffold.
Right. Yeah.
And then you had the dome cage.
The dome cage was kind of wonky because they said it was electrified and they couldn't really do that.
Yeah, no. But sometimes you throw stuff on the wall and it doesn't stick, but sometimes it does. And I think I would like to see more companies do something outside of the box. I would love to see. I would love to see AEW at Sturgis. I would love to see WWE.
Oh boy.
I would love to see WWE at Mall of America again. Pay homage to one of your biggest shows of all time.
Well, they won't do. Well, it's not a WWE show, so they won't touch it. It was
right. Yeah, it was a nice show.
Say, we'll build our own mall and have our own show.
Yeah, that's what they would do.
All right, so I want to just take a pause and add someone else to the show. We're going to go one at a time. And again, there's no pressure to give a lot. You can give a little, just hang out for a little bit. Doesn't matter. Anybody that comes in here, this is more of just a fun celebration, and we're just talking wrestling for the better part of 2 hours. So next on, also from the Wrestle Collective, there he is.
Hey, Juice, how's it going, man?
It's going.
Today I'm the third outrunner, so I would appreciate.
Hey, well, that's as close as you got to having cigarette branded gear, so I will accept that.
Hey, Grumpy, it's the other guy that was there with us when MVP almost kicked your ass.
That's true. Yeah,
here's the thing: I only heard through this about it because I I had my interaction with that group, and I was just shaking because of how sick it was.
So
I was like, oh
remember,
and then all of a sudden, this is all I remember was so I took a photo with West Side Gun. It was incredible. Loved meeting those guys. We watched the end of Saturday night's main event. It was hilarious seeing them be like, "That's it! This is it!" Because AEW talent and a prominent hip hop guys watching a WWE product and kind of critiquing it after we just came from AEW's biggest show. It was so nuts. Anyway, that happens. They started leaving, and then if all I can remember is I think it was Grumpy being like, should I go did you want a picture or something? And then that was it. I don't remember much from the weekend.
I remember
him kind of going. I never heard anything else.
So this was funny. So Phil, I'll tell you because maybe you've heard it, maybe not. All in Texas, I had the great opportunity of meeting Juice in person, meeting Andrew in person. It was great.
Right.
Great time. We're chilling at the bar, and West Side Gun, MVP, and Smoke DZA walk out. Come, and because all I hear was West Side Gun, who's like, "Oh, this is the Goldberg match." I'm like, "What is going on?" So me, Juice,
bizarre.
Juice, Andrew are sitting at the bar. We're kind of talking and whatnot, and I'll never forget Grumpy over here on the side. Now I'll tell you, Phil, and this is for anybody who doesn't know, MVP is a big dude.
He seems like a big dude. I mean, I never met him, but he seems like a bigger dude than what I would anticipate.
He's a big dude, and the attitude that he gives off on TV That's him. That's Montez. That like there's no faking it.
That's
That is
Montez
him.
Montavious Porter.
That is Montez. And Grump, it's just funny
Here's the
because
thing. I had built up a little bit of goodwill up to this point because I graciously offered him my seat. Well, first of all, when he showed up, I turned and I like very humbly, I said, it was such a great show. Me and my friends had the time of our lives. We really, really appreciate it. And he said, thank you, appreciate it. So then I was like, okay, I'll chill for a second. Then I turned. I was done with my drink. We were sitting at the bar. I turned and I go, by the way, I'm done. If you'd like to sit, I can get up. And he's like, no, that's cool. Thank you. You stay. So I was like, okay, I've built up enough goodwill. Maybe I could stretch this a little bit further. And the next time I turn around, I say, this was my fatal flaw, the way that I asked. I said, I hate to ask this, but, and he's heard this a billion times. It dawned on me now. He's heard this a billion times. Because he cuts me off and he goes, but you're going to ask anyway, aren't you? And I'm like, he caught me.
Oh,
He
no.
caught me.
I
was
just left.
I was so deer in the headlights. So I was frozen in
I'm
fear.
86. I got out of there. I would get out of there.
So he's here, right in my face, and Carlos is right behind me. And I turned to Carlos, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I literally said, I don't know what to do. And he's standing right there looking at me. So this went on like it felt like forever. I'm looking at MVP, and he's mean mugging
Time
me.
froze.
Then I look at Carlos, and Carlos is laughing at me, and I'm going back between the two. And then West Side Gun comes over and he goes, I'll take the picture. And like, oh man, West Side Gun saved my life. I almost didn't make it out.
And I had no idea this was going on. Like they were there,
Oh,
they were
man.
watching the show. They leave, and I got to get a photo with West Side Gun. So I got Andrew took the photo, and it happened. And as soon as it happened, I was like shaking. I was like, I can't believe. This is insane. What a turn of events. How could we have gotten so lucky to be at this bar? Like the perfect timing. And then like that was it. Like I was so like locked in. I was like, oh, what a great time.
What a great moment.
Little do I know, there's just like chaos going on behind me of like the ethics of how to approach celebrities. And I'm
I
like,
learned
I'm so
a
glad I didn't have to
valuable
do
lesson. I learned a valuable lesson.
those guys, Dizza, West Side Gun, and MVP though were incredibly kind though to kind of just chill with us for the little bit that they did. Talk about wrestling the way that they did, and I like that we brought up West Side Gun because he's got fourth rope. That man is about it. He is a fan. And when I say fan, he's knowledgeable, and it don't matter where, WWE, AEW, GC, New Japan, he talk about it and he's in it. Because and I say that because he just got through doing the Hurt Syndicate's intro, for
Right.
the
actually
walkout.
doing it at the show. Yeah.
Yes,
They
that's
did it at the
right.
show.
Okay.
And yet he was as locked in with that as he was as watching this WWE match, right? And I thought that was really, really cool. Because you could have very easily been like, oh, no, turn that off. We don't want to watch that. No.
I'm here at AEW, not watching.
I'm here at it.
Right.
No, I'm a fan. He said, look, I'm a fan. I'm a fan, and I really love and appreciated that. Like, I think that's the coolest thing about wrestling is that you don't really, sometimes it don't matter where, we just want to be able to sit around and talk and watch some wrestling. And I thought that was a really, really cool moment.
And just, with like-minded individuals. And it was not too long ago, like I brought up in the beginning of the show, like I've been doing wrestling-related content, maybe not just as Juice Springsteen for 2007, I would wager. I mean, I've done a lot of different things on a lot of different platforms. And it was never easy to just outwardly talk about wrestling without getting that, wrestling, huh? It's fake, right? Like everything. I've heard it all. Went through
that
school
all
like
the time.
And then I went to college, and I met some of my closer friends that are wrestling fans. Just had on a happenstance, they lived right below me. And I'm like, this is incredible. And you start realizing, maybe as wrestling started getting a little bit bigger, I do think that like Rock Cena feud kind of helped that, where it's like, it was like my revelation from Mania 21. Oh, they're still doing this wrestling? Like, oh, the Rock's back too?
Right,
like, okay. So people, like, as time's gone on, I think wrestling's gotten more open for fans to, lack of a better term, get out of the closet and say like, I love wrestling. Like this
I'm
is
glad
because
you say that.
like nerd culture as a whole has blown up with like comics and certain things on TV, and it's like so much more appreciated now that it's in the mainstream. Now for wrestling to be at that same level, and you get all these musicians being involved, like Bad Bunny, West Side Gun, just name them, Jelly Roll, Post Malone's at all these shows. It's just cool to see how big it's gotten, because now everybody's just like, I'm a fan. They're willingly admitting it instead of being like, yeah, I used to watch it when I was growing up. Now I'm actively watching it now.
Here's the thing with me, like I have like when it came down to my like fandom of watching professional wrestling, I always had to hide it. I always had to hide it outside from a couple of friends that got me into it or whatever. But then all of a sudden, as you said, as it continued to get more accepted throughout the years and ultimately to what it is now, to where people are honestly openingly admitting that they are a professional wrestling fan. I literally just saw somebody at work the other day wear an AEW hoodie, and I was like, hey, okay. So then we just talked for about 5 minutes, and then he was out the door. But it's just really cool to see having professional wrestling be at a state where you hit it for the majority of your time as a fandom, but now all of a sudden you're getting the chance to be open, be accepted, and now we have platforms like this to talk about it. I mean, it's actually just a really, really
I'll tell you guys a funny story. So when I was in high school, I was dating this girl, and my birthday came up, and she was like, hey, well, what do you want for your birthday? Right. And this was right when SmackDown vs. Raw 07, the greatest one, came out.
Love it. I'm playing it right now, actually.
And I'm like, but I was like, well, there's this game that I want, but I don't, so embarrassed to tell this girl that I was dating. We were dating for like 2 years at the time, that that I was a wrestling fan, right? It's just so crazy how, Juice, you put it right on. We used to be closeted. You used to be embarrassed to say, oh, you like wrestling, because you would always hear, that's fake, right? Or oh, that fake stuff.
Really?
I didn't know.
Hitting him. Thank you. Thank you for informing me.
All story, right?
Really? Yeah. I thought Star Wars was real this entire time. But I don't know. It's been I would say the past maybe like 10 years, maybe a little bit less than that, where you're like, no, I'm a wrestling fan. You say that with your chest. Right. I'm a wrestling fan. I like this. I like that. I love it, because it used to be a little bit embarrassing, to even hide, like, oh no, don't get this gift for me because I'm a wrestling fan. Don't do that. It's so weird that we used to kind of hide the fandom. But now, and it's something that we talked about, just a minute ago, corporatization in wrestling, how it's starting to become mainstream, how more sponsors are willing to work and be associated with wrestling. And I think it's because of that, by proxy, the fans, we are more open to being wrestling fans. I think it's pretty cool. I used to hate having to hide my fandom, but now I love being able to wear it on my chest. Because like you said, Phil, it's cool to see somebody, you say you saw somebody in an AEW shirt. So I work in a very busy place. And I saw somebody with a John Cena Last Time Is Now shirt.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I was like, hey, you're a Cena fan?
He's like, so you like the heel turn.
Right. So I was like, oh, you a Cena fan? Oh, that's cool, man. We talked about wrestling. He said that, he fell out of love with wrestling, but he heard John Cena was retiring, so it got him back in. And we had a 5-10 minute conversation. You know what I mean? It was real quick, but all off a shirt.
Right.
But I think that I love where wrestling is at. I'm excited to see where it goes. Like, I don't think wrestling will ever be mainstream. I think this is going to be the most mainstream it gets. But that's saying
I'd say it's still pretty damn mainstream. I mean, it's never going to be the boom of the 80s or the 90s, but this is probably the closest it's been to those booms, because there's two companies that are both seen on major networks or advertised, like when you hear Royal Rumble commercials on the Monday Night Football broadcasts, or you got the AEW tie-ins all over the place, or if they get brought up in the news, like now there's plenty of ways to see. Oh, there's two companies now.
I would have never thought that
Again.
TMZ would have picked stuff up until that AEW chant.
I never would have thought.
Picking up anything to that level. That they've come around to pro wrestling. They had Ryan Satin on there. They let him go, and then they came up with their own.
That is fair, actually. No, then I take that back.
You are lying to yourself if you thought that wrestling would be on ESPN.
It used to be. AWA used to be on ESPN way back.
Way back. Yes, true.
But
true,
it was still like a niche, like you see cornhole on.
Right. And, like it would be on like the Ocho. You know what I'm saying?
The Ocho for sure. And now
Jericho.
Back in right. We'll talk about him in a little bit. Back in 2015 for Mania 30 or WrestleMania 31 or WrestleMania Play Button. As it's formerly known,
I always thought that
they had they were like at WrestleMania for that week, and it was like the first real like, oh wow, they were really collaborating and really getting involved with it. And that's like, I remember when Seth Rollins cashed in Heist of the Century, they aired that on SportsCenter that night, and I'm like,
I remember that.
You didn't have to do that. Like, damn, let's go. And now it's partnered with ESPN and WWE, full-fledged. They're doing it. So
we've come a long way, and I think it's cool. I think it's cool to see wrestling on ESPN. I think it's cool to see Variety talk about the chants going on in AEW. I think it's cool to see TMZ pick up, a story about a wrestler. Wrestling has become, it's no longer lowbrow entertainment. Well, it's not the lowest brow entertainment anymore.
I told you, I think nerd culture and just like being like a very like geek or intellectual about any topic now is really kind of revered, because it's like, oh, you have a lot of intelligence, even though I might not agree with where that intelligence is placed. You're still really smart. Like, I might not mess with, anime or Marvel or DC or certain movies or whatever, but I appreciate that, and I think people are even more willing to be like, oh, pro wrestling, oh, Hulk Hogan, oh, I know that, I know what that is,
right.
Yeah, well, let's talk about it.
I like the appreciation now. Like I said, when you feel more comfortable being a fan because, like you said, people can at least appreciate the art. They may not watch it, but like you said, oh, Hulk Hogan, The Rock, John Cena. Oh, I know those guys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and because they know them, you're not, because you're not saying, oh yeah, I'm watching Junkyard Dog. What? Who is What? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm watching Doink the Clown. What? Who? Doink the Clown. But I could say, oh, I'm watching a John Cena match and there's crossover. I can say I'm watching a Rock match and there's crossover. I can now say I'm watching an MJF match, and that guy that was in Happy Gilmore. Oh yeah. You know what I mean?
The longer things go, the more easily consumed it will be by the mainstream media, and just allows itself to permeate through that pop culture wave. Like, it only, again, I remember Ric Flair drip coming out, and I'm like, oh my god, like, how genius is this? And I already was a fan
of the video too, and
video.
I was already a fan of Metro Boomin and of the Migos, so Offset, Metro. I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? Like,
another Juice Lord drop. Okay, all right. Metro Boomin. All right, okay. I like that.
There's so much more. We've only hung out for a cup of coffee.
Motion over here.
And I took a photo with a very prominent hip hop artist, so I feel like maybe that was a hint. Like, hey,
it was. And there were other things we talked about which we connected on. So like, yeah. I'm just starting to get the lore of Juice. I like it.
It's got the motion. Yeah. Okay, all right. I like what I'm saying. I like it.
Something that's been getting a lot of motion, and I'm going to add. This might be the limit, because I don't know how else this is going to work. So I'm going to add two more folks in here. both from Dub C Worldwide. I believe we've got Advocate and we've got Dev. We're going to add them here first, and then we'll see if it works. I've got Dev, I believe.
Great picture. Oh my God.
Seemingly audio only. Dev and Advocate, welcome to the
Juice. You put me in here with my enemy.
Hey, the enemy of your enemy is my friend. So we're all friends.
I can't stand this other dude. Shame on you, Juice.
Well, you guys were all.
Speaking of Rock and Cena,
it's
Advocate
funnier
versus Dev over here.
It's funnier that you guys have a rivalry, considering I kept you in the queue by yourselves alone for upwards of 15 minutes. So
just imagine them fighting backstage in the green.
That's right. So to bring you guys in, this is how I'm going to do it. We've been talking about a lot of different stuff thus far, but I want to pivot to something we talked about earlier on No Dirt, but something I'd like to go into just more depth because we got more people here. So why the hell not? We all love mystery as wrestling fans, and forget what Andrew Baydala said earlier, where these fans expecting all this stuff from the crate. Look, it's cool, it's interesting, I like it, and we're going to talk about it. So one by one, and I will go last because I have no original ideas, and I'm only a follower. I will suggest to you, put it out there, the crate. Who or what gets unveiled with the magic crate, seemingly, because it said February 28th, next week, Elimination Chamber. Phil, what is in the crate?
Okay, first of all, I have to say this. I think WWE is becoming more like a Scooby-Doo episode more than anything now, because we're trying to figure out.
They collabed with them before, twice.
Yes, yes, because we're trying to figure out these masked men, and now we got this mystery box. Ooh, oh man! but here we go. Look, I've seen tons of rumors and tons of theories about this whole entire thing, and like you, Juice, I'm not realistically a kind of like conspiracy theorist in a way, to like where I kind of see something happen. If I see something and I kind of like it, I kind of go with that theory. I think it is ultimately going to be Danhausen. I do.
Okay.
I think it's going to be Danhausen because he kind of just fits this weird, random kind of thing that's going on with this box.
Yes.
And the
box just showed up, right?
Right.
Like, didn't it just happen? So like,
they weren't building up to this. This just here. So I mean, no one was at the shipping facility saying, "What are you doing with that box?" "Oh, we're sending it to WWE. You'll find out on the 28th." Right. So like, I mean,
we only know is this box is backstage.
I think Danhausen's just that kind of character to where he's wacky, he's weird, he's just kind of out there to a point where him coming out of a box is just normal to me. So like,
remember how he debuted in AEW, like Under the Ring, and like just that is why I do think he's the leader in the clubhouse if it's a person.
Yeah.
But we touched on this earlier, and this is where I'll pass it to you, Jordan. Could there be something else in the crate, or do you think a person will be in the crate? What are your thoughts? Give me an answer now. We're booking it now.
As we spoke about earlier on Final Bell Media, No Dirt Just Dialogue with myself, Juice, and Andrew. Check us out every Thursday. Andrew put this seed in my head, and now I can't. I think it may be a Hall of Fame announcement. I really think it may be a Hall of Fame announcement because we haven't had any other Hall of Fame announcements outside of Stephanie McMahon. And we are very close to Mania. Like, we're a pay-per-view away from Mania.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we are.
Right? So I don't know who else. But then again, I thought about this after we went off the air.
Now.
Right. But I thought about this when we went off the air. I think they're full. Like, who else would you put in that deserves it, right? So I don't know if we're going to even have a full class.
Oh, yeah, we will. What are you kidding me?
I mean,
you know who's in there already?
We can't have only one person in here.
Like, yeah, they're not going to put one person in, and especially not a McMahon.
So I think so. So that being said, there's some people who've been in and out of the company as of late, and I thought about it could be Trish Stratus's gear because I don't think she's in the Hall of Fame yet.
We need to look this
could
up
be-
because I feel like she is in the
I
Hall of Fame.
could have sworn Trish was a Hall of Famer.
Because they've been
Is she-
announcing her as WWE Hall of Famer. Because that's the
Okay,
thing
no,
now
see,
is you
so
can just
Trish-
come back
okay.
and wrestle as a Hall of Famer.
So you could have it could basically though, I'm thinking it's a Hall of Fame announcement. It's either
Okay.
a Hall of Fame announcement or Danhausen. Now, I'll be honest with you. If it indeed is Danhausen, wet fart, because you're
Damn.
assuming people know who he is. And there are
They
people,
do.
even when he debuted in AEW, who didn't know who he was. So you're gonna build up
Yeah,
this
yeah.
mystery box, and
Well,
you're gonna
again,
open the box.
Let me
Who is
catch you on
that?
What build up what? They only showed it
They
for
never
one
built it
segment
up.
on Raw. Now, if it shows up on SmackDown tomorrow, that might give us some more clues. And if Danhausen might not be known by everybody, I have a really hard time thinking in this day and age of internet, like if you see that face, I would wager a lot of damn people, especially, by the way, where's Elimination Chamber? Chicago. How many shows has AEW had in Chicago? They know
1,500.
Yeah.
every show's there. So it's like second to Jacksonville for them. So to me, I think that crowd is the perfect crowd to have a guy like Danhausen show up, and I think he would get a good reaction. Even if I also agree with you though. I don't think that many people are going to be tuned into him for the first time. They're going to be wanting to know all about him, even though he might not do that much at all in ring, unless he
And
goes
they-
against Mr. Iguana, which I'm sure.
And they
have that.
would have some sort of immediate plan with him if he's showing up at Elimination Chamber in a box in a reveal like this just a month before WrestleMania. Like
a month
what the-
before Mania, and it happened on what, the 16th? So within 12
I think it would
days,
literally be
they're going to give you this reveal. So that's why I kind of don't think it's not such a big build. It'll be 12 days by the time they unveil it, and it will
It's a
only have
quick
time
arrival.
to be on. Right, it'll be only on Raw twice, maybe SmackDown twice. We'll see, and maybe it'll be on. Was it on NXT? Does anybody?
No.
Do we watch NXT?
The
anymore?
box,
That-
no,
that's
it wasn't on
separate university.
NXT.
Okay.
Dev knows all about NXT. That's a separate universe. So
All right. Well, so
Sean,
we
Sean
have.
don't gotta deal with any of that, okay? I mean, he's
Oh,
got
yeah,
his own problems with that.
he ain't got time for that.
He's got his own
perusing
problems to deal with in NXT.
he's perusing his explore page for more WWE tryouts. So
And the parking lot's crazy enough as it is. You don't need to worry about a box.
the parking lot. That
That's
NXT
why they just
parking lot
snuck
is
him
crazy.
in. They just snuck him through the loading dock. That crate. So we've got potentially Danhausen. We've got potentially a Hall of Fame reveal. And Grumpy, before I get to that with you, in regard, and you can answer this too first. If it is some sort of Hall of Fame reveal, this could all change tomorrow, where they maybe cracked open the crate a little bit, or maybe there's something else, or another clue, something. Maybe because the first one we had a clipboard. The guy that delivered it had a clipboard, and they're like, "Oh, list of Jericho. That's it. Case closed."
Right.
So
Oh, that
who
theory.
knows if any of those things are actually in line? Let's say they don't give any more hints and they just show it at SmackDown. Is a crate leading you to a certain character, or is it just a complete mystery altogether? What's your ultimate idea?
I have a very outside theory. And it'll
Outside
take
the
you
box.
guys- take you guys back to Survivor Series 1990 when WWF
All right.
had a egg on screen, the
Oh,
debut of the
no.
Gobbledygooker.
Okay. All right. I'm here.
I think-
I'm waiting.
Gobbledygooker 2, son of Gobbledygooker. He's going to make his debut at the Elimination Chamber. He's going to run the
Yes.
table, and he's going to be the main
Yes.
event of WrestleMania Night 2.
Would you
You and the
be
Undertaker.
mad? How about
Somebody in
this?
a giant chicken costume.
Yeah.
It's going to say Slim Jim now debuting their
Oh,
chicken
The
sticks.
that'd
Slim
be
Jim
crazy.
chicken? Yes.
What if it was the Gobbledygooker, but he took the head off and it was Danhausen?
See, that would be just crazy enough to work.
That would be. I would actually.
I think
probably
that's
pop
gonna-
for that.
I
I'd
think that
probably
may
pop
just
that.
happen. I'm not gonna lie to you. It sounds like that
Because
there-
they've had everybody do it.
Yeah.
Chelsea Green's been the gobbledygooker. They've
I legitimately think, I'm not even joking, because the way I'm just putting it together, that's so perfect. It's literally perfect. It's
I
because
tried to think of the most acidine thing I could. Now you're saying it's perfect.
well, because think about the
Go for it.
gobbledygook. It's a kind of inside joke about how the gobbledygook kind of came about, whatever, what have you, right? So to do this again, the only way this would be perfect is if it were Survivor Series. If this were Survivor Series,
right.
Right. Yeah.
then
And if it were an egg, but they could have got the crate.
It sounded
from the
like Slick was
WWE
giving the
archive.
gobbledygooker a nickname. I call him the Gook.
the
Well,
well,
says,
the nickname I have for him is The Undertaker because it was supposed to be The Undertaker. So
Yet he had his own presence on that Survivor Series show, which is pretty cool.
thank God, because that would have ruined Mark's career.
Well,
if he
and
came
I don't
out
know
like
if you, any of you gentlemen are figure collectors, but they did release an ultimate 2-pack of the gobbledygooker and that Undertaker
and
from Survivor
Taker.
Series.
that. Yeah, that was a
90, which
great
I
cut.
thought was
Yeah.
pretty cool. So, all right,
I
we'll
think
pass
that's
the
good.
buck to you. Oh, go ahead. What
No, I was gonna say I think that's a good idea. You got me sold. Gobbledygook,
Well,
take off the head.
I'd pop.
Grumpy.
I'd pop
Grumpy
for it.
pitched it, and I took a swing at it. So we'll see if they knock
I'd
it out
pop.
at
Let's
Elimination
go.
Chamber.
Well,
Let's
I
go
am
to you,
sorry,
Kev.
Juice. Thank you for
sorry,
having me
Grumpy.
on, but I do got to drop.
Okay.
So I really appreciate it, but I'll leave it to my other two Dub C compatriots
Yeah.
to give their theories, and I'll be watching to see what they said. Thank you very much.
Appreciate
I
you
appreciate
hopping
you having me
in,
on.
Grumpy.
GG, dude.
Absolutely. See you later, brother.
Peace, guys.
All right, so the bandwidth will sustain at least for a little bit longer.
Yes.
Shout out to
I
Grumpy
could
for
not
hopping in.
wait for him to leave. Goodness
Oh my God.
gracious.
I was waiting for somebody to say
no.
it. The worst.
Oh, no.
Well, I hope he's not watching now because he's getting buried. But we appreciate Grumpy for hopping in the juice box for episode 200. Let's turn to you, Dev. After this is my fourth try passing the buck to you, giving your thoughts here. Welcome into the juice box first and foremost. Appreciate your work on Dub C. What do you got for this crate, man? Is it going to be nothing or is it going to be something?
We appreciate you back, Juice. I appreciate you having me here today. And I think it's going to be Joe Hendry in the box. Everybody,
I would be shocked. Okay.
I take
Something
back what I said about
inspiring.
Grumpy. You're the worst.
You know,
and
I believe.
he's going to take that box and then ram it into LA Knight and take his spot in the chamber.
Now we're cooking.
Oh, dang.
Juice, check the Twitter chat, Juice, and look what Andrew just said. It's kind of hilarious.
Can't wait. I'm sure it's something derogatory.
Oh,
I'm glad I'm not in that chat.
Wow. Well,
that's
wait a second.
Uh-oh.
Who were we talking? So, and Dev, I apologize to interrupt you, but you were cooking, and I do. Joe Hendry's is something, but I don't think he'll be taking LA Knight's place in the chamber. Someone that could take someone's place in the chamber, though, if we can add him. Vertical Baydala. That's what I
Hey.
call him.
terrible idea, bro.
I am I'm working out, but I jumped in here to say congratulations on 200 Juice.
Thank you.
I see majority of the collective here, and I see Phil. What's going on, Phil? Always good to see you as well.
How are you?
It's Brock Lesnar in the box. He's gonna take out somebody,
Oh,
and
great.
he's gonna enter the chamber, boys and girls.
Oh, yes.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
I have a bad
fantastic.
feeling if he joins the chamber, it could be Javon Evans' spot to lose.
By Javon, maybe?
Guess you never know. I'm gonna go back to my workout though. I just wanted to say what's up. Congratulations
Sure.
on 200. Here's the
Appreciate
2 more
it.
episodes, and then hopefully they can your ass. All right.
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
man, dude. Nah.
you never know. It'll be longer than your duration on TNT, though.
That's right. I had 50 some odd episodes, so you're at 200. But I mean,
Hey.
highest rated ever TNT included myself. Just saying.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, boys, enjoy your night. Juice, go to hell.
Later.
Easy.
Wow.
You know,
Love having Andrew.
It pays to
lasted
have
longer-
good friends in the business, man.
the juice. We could say this: the juice backs lasted longer than our tenure on WrestleMania.
Oh my God! You know what's crazy? I don't know if this is a coincidence or what, but I doubt any of you know this particular lore. But when I was on Chair Shot Reality from 2016 to 2018, they were on WrestleZone for the pretty much the whole duration of that program. Me, Justin LeBar, Josh Eisenberg, Brian Ghoulish, a few other people that were on that show. We were on WrestleZone for so long, and then we got approached to have a new spot to air the show, and the fine folks at What Culture put us on. And we had our first episode on the show, and it was like the most downvoted show. Negative comments. I'm pretty sure I got buried in the show. And then it was 1 week, and that was it, right? And now we do the Wrestle Purist thing and another one and done.
One and done.
And I'm thinking, what heat do I have with the international audience? What did I do wrong?
I don't see, because I'm gonna be. I blame myself because I don't. I was like, am I not? Are we not entertaining? Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't know. You know what's so funny too? I had graphics mocked up for Wrestle Purists. I had. Oh yeah, brother.
I did too. I had stuff ready to go. You got to be prepared. You never know what's gonna come down the pike. But
yeah, that was hilarious.
That's one word
for
it. yeah, the one and done. But back to the crate talk, as we had fine friend of the show, colleague, collaborator Andrew Baydala hop in. Back to you, Dev. Is Joe Hendry your pick? And do you could you see him actually being in the box? If not, could you see a gear for a Hall of Fame? Or Andrew suggested maybe the paint for Demon Finn Balor. You think that's even a possibility?
Well, on a sentimental aspect, if one were to pay homage for something like that, a crate full of Bootios for the sake of Big E would be super poetic. And who knows, he might even jump in the chamber. You know, like it could escalate if they wanted to escalate. Retire. Yeah.
Wow. I wish Big E would be able to come back. Yeah. I feel like though he definitely saw that. I think I read an article or something, and he was just quoted as being like, knowing you're in the ring and being a wrestler when you're young, you know that like, oh, I could, die in the ring. And then when you have, and accepting that, and then you have a moment where not necessarily death, but something real close and real severe happens to you. And you go, wow, I really don't want to die in the ring. Like I could do more outside of it after you have like that experience. So I think he's kind of fine and comfortable being. He's a great commentator and analyst on the pre-shows and post-shows. I really like that work there. And I think he's got definitely more room to do stuff like that going forward, whether that's just maybe as a color guy, a color commentator on WWE programming would be cool. But I think he's got a lot more in the tank. It's a quote Mark Henry, who retired too. But
I would like to see, because you bring up Big E, I would like to see Big E replace Booker T on NXT as far as commentary is concerned, and then officially
potentially, yeah,
and then have Booker T, because I think as much as I don't like Booker T, I think he's a pretty all right commentator, despite what some voters may think. I think he's a pretty all right commentator, I would like to see him more on. I would like to see him more on the main shows. I think he adds a little, something.
So this is
he's
where
gotta do Trick.
Right.
He's the only one that can do Trick Williams. The only one.
And that's my problem. My biggest problem is because someone posted the Black Snow from TNA thing where he got out of the commentator booth and had the mic in ring and was talking trash in the third person as he's doing it. And that was great because it was only 1 week. And when he's doing, like, I don't know. I appreciate how involved and entertaining he is with Stephanie Beck Hair and Trick and those things. But when it's every week, it is just it's too much. It's like a caricature of that. And I think he's allowed to get away with that because NXT isn't that main brand. And it is a more fun. It used to be the colorful brand of NXT 2.0 and all these things. Like he has more room to do that. And I think if he went to Raw or SmackDown, he'd still have that because as if he would stop doing the trick thing or the Stephanie McCare thing. But I think he is good as a main broadcaster when he has to be a little or leans more serious. So that's something where I think I could agree with you where he could do that. I give him a shot on a PLE. I like when they get different guys on a PLE. Speaking of, am I crazy or has Joe Tessitore not called a PLE yet? He's only done Saturday Night's Main Events.
Only done.
Correct.
Yes.
I think that would be fascinating considering Joe Tess has done Monday Night Football, big college football playoff games, boxing matches of high level. Give him a PLE.
You would think because because of all that they would have thrown him in, but I don't know. I would like to see Joe Tess on somebody on a bigger show, but I want to hear Advocate who he thinks is going to be in this box.
Right. So this is what we're going to next. Advocate. Save the best for last, unless you talk to.
It's clearly the Spirit Squad. They're back from OVW with a vengeance.
Yes.
hey,
Yes.
Ziggler's in TNA. That's 1/5 of them.
Yeah, bro. I mean, that's basically WWE. So
Lenny Dykstra is a backstage producer.
Kenny Dykstra. You're
Kenny, not Lenny Dykstra. Lenny's another fan.
What, was Charlie Haas? He was in the Spirit Squad too, right?
No, Charlie Haas.
Oh, he was just with Shelton. But anyways, he's out
world's
there.
greatest tag team.
Yeah. Well, anyways, he's out there. How he can join it, I don't care. But yeah, the Spirit Squad. Come on. They left in a box. They come back in a box.
Now,
am I crazy or is the NWA champion or the national? Remember the national champion thing?
What's his name?
Nick something. I can't remember. But he was the one that was like, "Hey, shout out to AEW," or he just made the claim like, "I am the NWA national."
Mike
champion.
Mondo, I think. Was it Mike Mondo? Yeah. What about Mondo? What about me?
So that's Mikey, and then you got Nikki in TNA, and Kenny is a producer, I think, still with WWE, right? We said that.
Yeah.
So you only need what was it? Kenny, Johnny and Mitch.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're doing.
But that's my pick for it. But I do have to go. It is dinner time here. Juice, congratulations on 200 episodes, man. You deserve it.
Thank you.
It's been amazing. All right, y'all have a good one.
Man. Enjoy, Advocate. Enjoy your dinner.
I think that if it were to be OVW, I'm not gonna lie, that would be the greatest joke WWE could ever pull off, ever, because it's a callback. It was funny then. It'll be funny now because you could have something that says "Return to Sender." Right. You could have a whole Return to Sender thing. But I'll ask you guys: do you like mystery in wrestling? Because something we've talked about before, and that is predictability in wrestling. Sometimes things are too predictable. This is one of those things where we really don't know what is going to happen. What is it going to be? And it has somewhat. It obviously has implications because if there were no implications, it would be no. We're going to open this up on a pay-per-view. They're clearly it's going to have implications. They want it to be PLE. Excuse me.
Right.
Are you guys okay with a little bit of mystery in your wrestling like this?
Dev, go ahead. We'll start with you.
No, not like this. I do like mysteries here and there, not like the crate. Definitely not like the mask dude that keeps
popping up.
Hit and runs. That's not my thing. I do like unpredictable conclusions, or plot twists.
Or big
I'm
reveals.
cool with I like those, but I don't like it at the expense or at the price of a redundant storyline.
Sure.
I don't like to be kicked in the back of the head with these kind of things and these kind of tropes over and over.
And that's
I don't like
another
that.
kind of thing is like, so you would you say that you enjoy at the baseline a pro wrestling trope, but you don't like it just going back to the well and here we go again, another masked man. Or
I
and a masked
like
man doesn't have to
balance.
just be
I like
storyline.
an assortment of tropes. I don't like the same
Okay.
one. I like
Mm.
multi. Yeah.
Assortment of trope is a good way to put it.
Yeah, that's a really good way. Like that describes wrestling. It's an assortment of tropes. Like,
And as time's gone on, like I don't know who I was talking about. Oh, I was talking again, Kyle from the Apron Bump, who could not be here tonight. Unfortunately, had some stuff to attend to, but I'm going to put him in the end of the show, and I thank everybody that I put this painstaking list. But we talked about how we were so like at World War III '97, we were just 3 months away from Scott Steiner turning on Rick Steiner, and how at the time it was so like you never would have thought that, and now it's like we're begging, like, oh, when is Montez going to turn heel or break away from whatever? And it's like now they are tropes. We know it's possible because it's been done before. We expect it. We want it. Things are getting boring or stale. Let's shake things up a bit. Back then they weren't tropes because it wasn't weekly TV as often up until the 90s. So a heel turn would only happen at a certain point, and it would be more effective, and it wasn't just done for the sake of having it done. John Cena. And these things would happen organically, and they weren't tropes then. Now we've had so many years of pro wrestling at our disposal that it's like, we talked about this earlier with the Texas Death Match. We just did this in July. We're doing it again. I can't remember if it was WWE or if it was on a DVD or something, but someone referred to when they came up with an idea for a match, or we got to have, for instance, all right, Triple H and Batista in 2005. We had their one match at WrestleMania. We got the rematch at Backlash. How do we pay this off? Well, we did this match a couple years ago. It's like, when does the trope come back around? And it's, let's do Hell in a Cell, right? Then they had Hell in a Cell as its own pay-per-view.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now we had TLC as its own pay-per-view. Elimination Chamber, Money in the Bank. So it's like you're getting the trope thing is very watered down as years have gone on because there's only so many original ideas. So back to the original point, I like when it's a crate that was shipped to the venue. I have no idea what it is. It's not an egg, so it is different. And it's only going to be in canonical TV for 12 days before we find out what's going to happen. So there's really no build. Meanwhile, we have a masked man that no matter who has been showing up as the masked man, the reveal is the guy that they want in the story. So right. So it doesn't matter if it was Grayson Waller or Jake Paul or Rollins or Adam Pearce. It doesn't matter who they were when they attacked them. Who do they reveal? And we did just do this with the theory thing, but now it's kind of back honed in on who the masked man is currently. So let's talk about that. Phil, who do you think the masked man ultimately is? A two-parter. Okay. When do you think they reveal the masked man's identity? And who do you think it ultimately will be?
God, that first question I legitimately do not know. But the second
would
one,
would you say at the latest at WrestleMania, or has it got to be before WrestleMania?
It's got to be before. The thing is, when it comes down to this, I think whoever this masked man is will indeed have a match at WrestleMania. It's just ultimately going to be who this is. Who I ultimately think it will be in the end. It's got to be, for me, it's got to be Seth Rollins. It has to be. And I'm not just trying to go with a basic cop-out answer of it having to be Seth Rollins, but to me, it just is the only thing that makes sense right now. Now, the thing is, if it wasn't for Braun Breaker's injury, it's a legitimate, super easy story to tell with everything between Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. You get that match at WrestleMania. But with everything that's happening with this, I feel like you can still have Seth Rollins be involved with the Vision at WrestleMania, because I still believe that the entirety of the Vision or at least what's left of it, will still be a part of WrestleMania. It's just in what capacity. I can see some sort of 6-man tag, a normal tag team match. Maybe they split off into just random separate matches across the 2 nights of WrestleMania, and Seth Rollins is involved in all of that. But I do believe that it will be Seth Rollins, because to me, it's the only thing that makes sense. And yeah, sure, they can have him use this stomp to try to make you think it's Seth, but I think it's time. I think it's time for him to come back, and what better time to do it than WrestleMania time, and just get that going so that he can get his revenge on Division for taking him out.
Very well said. I think ultimately, if Braun Breaker can wrestle at WrestleMania, and again, that's assuming Seth Rollins can wrestle at WrestleMania. We don't know,
Right?
really
Yeah.
But I would assume he's probably going to be ready for it. I think that's a match you have, but and even though it could be predictable, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, because let's say it's not those two, then it leads to a wide array of who it could be. Like I mentioned, I could see Adam Pearce being the guy behind all this for whatever reason or another. He's been pissed off by the Vision. I think it's a unique angle that they could portray here.
And he's a pretty good wrestler his damn self. So
yeah, I'd like to see him
amazing in ring wrestler.
Grayson Waller, I think he might be able to do more for this type of thing than Austin Theory has, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So I don't know how I'd feel about that. Jake Paul would be crazy.
A wet fart.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it would be a lot of heat.
One thing I will say with this is that I saw somebody, and this is one of my good close friends of mine, say this kind of theory, and I want to shout him out. My guy Trent. At the end of the day, he felt like somebody like Bad Bunny could be something with this.
Wow.
Because
the pop would be crazy.
Oh my God, that'd be insane.
Because the thing is, with Bad Bunny, we all know what happened with him and the halftime show with Logan Paul. Logan Paul said absolutely no to when he was asked about the halftime
that would
show.
make a lot of sense.
So the fact that he stomped Logan on the announce table and everything, ran up, didn't get revealed. Logan Paul versus Bad Bunny at WrestleMania could be something if they don't want to have all of the Vision in like some sort of 6-man or tag team match. So we'll see. But that pop would go crazy whenever it is revealed.
I have
agree.
to. I think a good idea would be, like you said, Phil, to have. I don't want them all in a multi-man match. I would like to see the Vision throughout WrestleMania,
Throughout the card.
Because it you could do backstage vignettes like, hey, I won my match, because you can start to see the division within, like where you can see where the division in the Vision would be.
The division in the Vision.
Right. You can see it. You can see that Logan Paul's probably going to break away. You can see that Braun Breaker, is probably going to break away. So I know who who it is. So I won't.
Insider knowledge.
I forgot Jordan's backstage.
Yeah. I'll put it to you like this. I don't know when, because this story is hindered by unfortunate events. You got a Seth Rollins injury, you have a Braun Breaker injury, right? So though I may think I know, I think honestly, because of the pivots that they're having to make, it leaves it open to really, I may know, I don't think I do at this point though, because of the changes that they're going to have to make. So I think, I'm going to call me crazy, I think this Masked Man is first off, I think it was meant to be Jericho. Gonna be honest. I think it was meant to be Jericho at first.
Hey, someone put a stop to that. Someone put a freeze on that.
And someone put a freeze on that. I think it was meant to be Jericho. Why? It just adds up and makes sense. If you're good.
I guess it could be, right? It could still be.
It could still be.
The contract is frozen.
We don't know how long.
There could be heat from that, and they go, you know what? All right, let him go.
Let him go,
Yeah,
right?
we have no idea.
Because that's what happened with Ray Phoenix.
Yeah.
That's what happened with Ray Phoenix. Ray Phoenix was supposed to be kept for longer than what he was, and then they got some heat for essentially freezing his contract, and then they finally let him go. So,
we'll see.
But I as far as when it's concerned, ideally you would want it WrestleMania. Ideally, that's when you want the reveal to be.
Well, you want it to be revealed at WrestleMania. Okay.
Either when I say at Mania, I could see a situation where Masked Man just walks out, pulls the mask off, and then whoever it is, their music hits. Right?
Oh.
I could see because what should happen eventually is a match challenge for the Masked Man. Right? Logan Paul should be like, hey, look, I'm tired of this. Masked Man, whoever you are, I challenge you for a match at WrestleMania. Right?
That would be interesting.
I actually just talked about this. I was like, look, Bronson Reed showed up on this past episode. Well, not showed up. He was talking to him, talking to Adam Pearce on Raw, saying, look, I'm a problem solver, okay? I know he's a problem for us. He's apparently a problem for you. Why not have Bronson Reed or something like that go out there, call him out? Because obviously the guy can wrestle. I mean, he's doing stomps. He's doing everything. So, like, look, I'll solve our problem right now. Let me get into the ring with him and unmask this guy. But, I mean, we'll see.
I think either way, I'm pretty intrigued by it. Dev, are you intrigued by the Masked Man, or are you sick of these tropes like we talked about already?
Stick to my stomach, but I would I think you guys had some good ideas. I would probably want
You're about to do it, aren't you?
No.
You're about to troll.
Jericho would have been nice. But I mean, Alexis King is basically Jericho. If you can't get Jericho.
Oh, boo.
I mean,
I thought, what if the crate was the Masked Man and the Masked Man was Danhausen? Just ruin everything all in one segment.
Just all in one thing.
Well,
you put two tropes together.
I think you could somehow integrate the two. That would be kind of cool. That the box is for the Vision, and it's that something like that. I think that would be kind of cool, to somehow integrate the two. I don't know how you get there exactly, but I would say, well, why not have some fun with it? At this point, I mean, we're doing a box gimmick. We're doing two mystery gimmicks on the same show.
We're becoming Scooby-Doo at this point, like I said. So, I mean, if you want to go all out, go all out.
Luckily, I just like that the one, like I said, is going to be revealed very soon. We won't have to, it could be a nothing burger. It could literally just be, oh, here's blank going into the Hall of Fame. It could be Finn Balor going into the Demon character for that night. Like, it could be as simple as that.
I saw
and then it's over. So
I saw somebody say that it was you guys remember the that Fiend costume that we never really got to see from Bray Wyatt. I saw somebody say that the Fiend that outfit is in there, something with the Wyatt 6.
You know what?
Ooh.
Did Bray get inducted?
No, not yet.
Bray
He might. That could be it. Yeah.
That could.
Although I think the Wyatt family should be inducted.
What? Yeah.
2 out of 3 aren't with us.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And Tony, I'm pretty sure Tony would let Amanda go speak on his behalf.
Oh yeah, I don't think it would.
I don't think that would be a problem.
No, I don't. That actually, putting all of the Wyatt family in, because people forget about their NXT run and how fantastic that was. Hell, their OVW run and how great that was.
You don't have to remind me of that, brother. I loved everything that they were doing.
I loved everything. Because, that. Because, see, that's what it's got to be a Hall of Fame announcement. It's got to be. The more I think about it, it's got to be a Hall of Fame.
And if you recall that 2017, right around WrestleMania, there was a really good shot, and people were suggesting Luke Harper get into the world title match. with Randy
Yeah.
Orton, and that ended up
Dude.
not happening. Like,
I wanted a triple threat at that Mania between
even a
Randy,
triple threat would have
Bray.
been something.
I wanted
you know?
Randy, Bray, and Harper. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
that would have been great.
I
But-
agree.
You
So,
know,
a
but
lot of
this-
interesting ideas.
Yeah, lot of. Let me ask you guys this. You know,
Sure.
Would there be anybody that the Masked Man could be revealed to that you would be disappointed with?
Mm,
Seth Rollins.
You would be let down.
I'd be disappointed.
Yeah.
I because I think it's like it's obvious. And we
Yeah.
just did the whole my leg's actually fine thing. So it's like
Fair too.
and that's great and all, and it makes sense. And it's not to say that I don't think it wouldn't be entertaining. And I'd like to see Seth and Braun, but I would be like, oh, all right, because we could have seen it a mile away. We want it to be something random, like when the first Masked Man was going and doing stuff before it was Theory. I thought this could be Montez Ford. This is unbelievable. Like I was hoping we get something. Give me something just drastically different than what we're used to. That's what I want in my.
Could have been The
surprise.
Rock.
Could have been The Rock.
Could have been The Rock.
Dwayne
Doesn't show up
I-
at WrestleMania to help Travis Scott and John Cena. Masked Man to help the Vision.
You're a little late there, Dwayne, but I guess
And then I told them, look, let me be The Rock. Let me be the Masked
and then
Man.
I told them, let me be the
This
Masked
will be a
Man.
great idea.
Oh, man.
I would be a little disappointed if it's Seth because again, like you said, it's just it'd be too on the nose, you know. And when we're doing two mystery angles like this on the same show, you need to surprise us. You need to surprise us, you know. So it's interesting. It's interesting. I'm wondering who, because this Masked Man, we've been doing it for how long now? About
When was the first one?
Has it been
not
since?
counting the Austin
Not
Theory.
counting the first. Not counting the first.
one. So
Yeah.
probably
The
a month
Masked
or
Man
two.
showed up at the Rumble then.
Oh yeah, because they
The
took
second
out
one
Braun
showed up at
Breaker.
the Rumble with the Braun.
Yeah. So
Breaker,
then,
yeah.
so
Probably since
not
the beginning of the year at least.
yeah. So not counting. So beginning of the year, counting that. So we've been at it for a little bit now. About 2 pay-per-view cycles.
If
let's
this
just say.
goes to WrestleMania, it would be 4 months with just some Masked Man running roughshod over WWE. Like it's
So because I akin that to Juice when you said when does this need to be revealed? I think it needs to be revealed rather soon. If not at WrestleMania, it's got to be soon because 4 months of a mystery, you know, a mystery Masked Man. Like how much, you know? I mean, you mean to tell me the 4 of y'all can't jump this man and take his mask off?
and I'll say this: how many more can you freaking do at this point? Because I like a little mystery in my wrestling, but I don't like it at I believe someone said it earlier at the expense of A, other stories, or B, when it's just used as somewhat as a crutch because you can't think of anything else to do.
Right. Now, this is WrestleMania season, so I feel like that, you know, you want some intrigue, you want something out of the box or in the crate, however you want to look at it. And now Braun Breaker got taken out. Logan Paul got taken out. Bronson Reed didn't get taken out or Theory yet, did they?
No. Bronson wants to solve the issue, but he's
right.
not
So
gonna take that
as
yet.
time goes on, it's less likely to be internally one of those guys to where once if Bronson gets attacked, if Theory gets attacked, if I have missed it and it's already happened, forgive me. When all of them have kind of been compromised, maybe even Paul Heyman, although he could be involved with this, then I think we'll get the reveal. But when it's literally 2 months and we'll be at WrestleMania night 2. So you got 2 months to kind of figure that out.
I will say this: Theory did get cost a spot in the chamber because of the Masked Man, but then all of a sudden that was the same attack on Logan Paul. So he kind of did 2 birds in one stone that one night. And
you're right. And I also think I mean, with this being the last PLE before Mania, I think Chamber could very well. I mean, I would be pretty shocked if we didn't see the Masked Man there. costing someone, interfering, because I mean, you can get in the chamber. Shawn Michaels did it to screw Undertaker.
The Masked Man was in War Games. Now, sure, that was theory, but he was in a War Game. So, I mean, they can
Well, so
that's
how far back we've been going with it, though, is at least November, so a lot of intrigue as we go towards WrestleMania. And this is going to be probably the last segment I think we're going to do. We've had a great show thus far. We've had quite a few people hop in, quite a few people watching, which has been really cool. Like I said, I never really do these live shows on my own accord. I'm always a guest or a collaborator. I never do it on my own, like I said earlier, bandwidth and trying to come up with everything with the graphics and what have you. But we've got 2 months literally until WrestleMania Night 2. So I've compiled a list of potential matches for WrestleMania, and I'm going to present them all to you, one at a time, one match at a time. And then you guys can tell me if you like it, if you don't like it, if you tweak it or whatever. And that's how we'll do that. And then I'm going to do a thank you to a lot of the people that have helped me get to this show. And then we're going to go off the air. So we're going to start off. We'll just do it in order that I see you guys on my screen. I don't know how any of this stuff works, but I'll read the match. Then Phil, you can go. And then Jordan, you can go. And then Dev, you can go. And then we'll go back and forth.
So we're just naming matches off from like what we think is happening at Mania?
No. I am going to name. I'm going to name the matches, even if they're. I mean, the first one will be Roman and Punk. Right. Either tell me what you think of the match, or if you would keep that match, you change something in that match,
change or
discard, and your thought on it, and we'll go through. I got like 15 different matches I've thought about. Right. So first off, Roman and Punk. Would you keep it the same? Is there anything we need to do different? Just go ahead, Phil.
That's locked. I'm locking that in right there. I mean, there's no other choice. When you had that promo segment between Punk and Roman at on that episode of Raw, that sold everything you need to do. You don't need to change it. They're kind of doing something with that Elimination Chamber match with Punk and Balor, but that ain't going anywhere. That's locked in.
I agree. All right, Jordan, Punk and Roman.
Punk Roman. You got to do it. Lock it in. It should be Night 2's main event. Finally give Phil his WrestleMania main event that he's been wanting.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right, Phil.
Yes.
All right, Dev. We're keeping this match locked
Get my Mania moment.
I would keep it. I would keep most of it with Punk versus Roman versus Finn, because Finn wins the chamber, turning this into a triple threat match.
Dev's never been on this show, and I've only seen Dev's work on the Wrestle Collective. Yet these opinions, outside of the Joe Hendry in the crate smashing the chamber pod, his ideas, I can't say they're not intriguing.
Don't feed him. Don't feed him.
Hey,
okay. So
I appreciate originality in my pro wrestling.
I like Balor, so it wouldn't hurt me.
And he's proving that, hey,
so so me and Dev's relationship is like you know when Homer is always choking Bart.
Yeah,
that's our like. Don't feed his nonsense.
Well, he did it, and I like it. I like the idea.
They believe because that's a good thing.
That's the interesting part about the chamber is we get this Finn Balor match. But I'm going to transition into what I think will happen. Someone's going to cost Finn Balor in that match. So, Phil, I pass the buck to you.
Correct.
Will it be Finn Balor or dare I say, Demon Balor versus Dirty Dom at WrestleMania?
Lock that in. Yes, that's gotta happen. We were going through this entire thing all the way back. People were thinking that this would happen at last year's WrestleMania. I mean, they have been building this thing between Balor and Dom for so long. I mean, you can even go back to the time when Balor was bringing in Roxanne into the Judgment Day when Liv Morgan was out. I mean, there's so much history between Finn and Dom. You gotta lock that in at WrestleMania, and I don't know if you said it or not, but it being for the Intercontinental Championship as well, that makes it all the more special. So keep it that way.
Yeah, and some of the stipulations I really didn't go over because it's quite frankly very difficult to predict everything for a WrestleMania card, especially when there's 2 nights. So the match will happen either way. Jordan, Dom, and Finn or the Demon. Do you like that idea?
I've got. So the
implosion of the Judgment Day.
I like it because it gives us what was teased earlier, and that's a face Finn Balor. Yeah, they kind of teased a face Finn Balor, and so if Dom does cost Finn this match, which I think he will, it gives us a face Finn Balor at WrestleMania, and that's the perfect place to return the Demon. It would be a face Finn Balor at Mania. So
and he's been using the old music too.
Yeah, that's true.
Planting the seeds. I got that as a lock.
All right, Dev, what do you think? Lock, or are you going to make this a 6-pack challenge?
Well,
ladder match at WrestleMania.
I'll tell you what actually was locked was the 3-way that's closing night 2. Finn versus Punk versus Roman.
Oh, right. This can't happen.
This match will be Dominic versus Penta, winner takes all. Because he'll have both of those titles.
Oh, both titles.
So, I'm really sorry, Jordan, but he's done it again. Not only did he book a triple threat match that I would be somewhat intrigued with, but if that match were to take place, or if it didn't take place, the fact that we could see Dom versus Penta straight up one-on-one, luchadors, going crazy, I'm in for that match. So,
and a triple A mega title getting on WrestleMania. Again.
Why not? Hey, if the TNA World Title can be at WrestleMania, why not?
Right.
Championship as well.
You guys are making a lot of sense.
No,
you're making a lot of sense.
Hey, you're the one putting the idea. Hey, he's anti-trope and he's killing it. So.
Dev is spreading, and this is not good.
I'm gonna follow this, man. I want to shake your hand, Dev. I want to shake your hand.
Dev's got good ideas, and we'll see if he can go 3 for 3 here.
If you like Dev, Phil, check him out. He's the host of Queens Road on Wrestle Collective. Talks all about women's wrestling. So. Next episode is March 1st, so check him out. If you like his ideas, he's got a lot of them.
I'm definitely checking. There you go.
If you're tuning into the Elimination Chamber, that will be the main discussion.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about.
All right.
So.
All right. Speaking of the women, what a transition. We're not even. This is no script, but we're here. Liv Morgan, Stephanie Vaquer, Phil. We locking it in?
Okay. There's a lot that can go with this, right? I want to lock it in, but I want to add another person into this.
Okay,
and Dev. I want Raquel in this too. I want Raquel.
Oh, okay.
I want
little
Raquel,
big sexy.
Yes, Raquel, Liv, and Stephanie for the Women's Championship at WrestleMania. The thing is, I personally believe that we were going to be getting a new Women's Champion, or at least I wanted a new Women's Champion in that street fight when they were fighting it out between Raquel and Stephanie. That ultimately didn't happen. Liv somewhat, sort of, not really cost her that match. I think a triple threat is more than likely for me. And honestly, not saying that Steph versus Liv wouldn't be a solid match as a one-on-one singles capacity. It would definitely be really good, especially with what they're doing right now, even with Dom added into this, which is a whole other great other aspect in this. But having Raquel in this as well, chef's kiss. I would love it. So make it a triple threat.
Jordan?
I got, so I don't have this match as a lock because I have Raquel taking Liv's place.
Her place.
I would like to see Raquel take Liv's place. I know it's not going to happen because she's the Royal Rumble winner, but I think Raquel, she's had a journey. She's had a hell of a journey to get to where she's at right now. And she's doing probably some of the best work of her career right now. She looks good.
I think it is.
She looks great. She's been better, even better on the mic. There's some history there with her and Stephanie. I guess, shout out Dev, make it a 3-way if you can. But
make it a what?
shut up.
Pause.
Pause. I don't have it a lock because I somehow, some way, maybe through the chamber, I think Raquel gets added to the match.
Dev,
So-
we know you're gonna strike gold with this, so let's hear it.
805 way, baby.
I got Liv and Stephanie locked.
Oh,
Okay.
Hey, and you said you don't like the tropes. You just sticking with the same match. Locking
I
it
like
in.
I think they've had. I don't think they're getting enough credit for the way they've been building this match. It's been pretty good.
I agree.
On both.
I've been
people's
a
end.
big Liv fan, so it'd be cool to see her get a major match, whether it's one-on-one or.
I would like to see her get a win. I think I love Stephanie McCurry. She's great, but I think she's okay with giving the belt up. I think, move her on to a different feud.
I'd like to see them close night one.
Ooh,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wouldn't
I
hate
think that would be
I
really
wouldn't hate
good.
that. See, that's what I also like is we like 99% sure Roman and Punk is closing night 2. That is
Right.
probably the 2 biggest stars you have, right? By
Yeah.
Cody, sure, but we've seen it. Cody's been the main event like 3 years in a row. This is a huge deal. So they're going to be night 2 main event, which leaves the night 1 main event wide open. And I think you could get a women's match in there one way or the other. Now, you could make the opinion that last year the triple threat women's match was arguably the best match of the 2 nights, maybe outside of the men's triple threat on night 1.
Right.
So it's capable. They're very capable of doing it, and we
Didn't
saw how
that
great
match
with the
start
Evolution pay-per-view as
WrestleMania
well.
2 at that one point? That triple
Did
threat?
it?
I thought it
the opening
started
match
and
of night
ended
1
with the triple
Okay.
threat.
I
It
can't remember.
open night.
2.
or night 2 was it?
I think the women's triple threat opened night 2.
It opened night 2. You're right. Okay, well, even the opening matches they've been able to do a lot with. So
Well, that's when the crowd's normally at their hottest. So I mean, that was a really
I'd
cool
love
way
to
do
see
it
them
there.
close out night 1 if they could do it this year. But moving on, we've touched on this match already, so we're probably going to be in lockstep. But Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, Phil.
I would lock it if it's possible.
Right.
Okay.
It's just a real big possibility right now because of the injury factors. But if it's possible, absolutely. I mean, there's so much history enough there as it is. I mean, Vision and all of that stuff. You lock that in if it's possible.
Jordan.
Yeah, I have to agree. If both men are healthy, if we can, get there, because we got about a month, maybe 6 weeks till Mania. Yeah, if it can happen, I got it locked. Yeah, because when I say got it locked, I think that match is the co-main event of night 1.
Fair.
I think it's that
That could be a
monumental.
fair point.
I agree.
I think.
Dev. Oh, sorry, Jordan. If you had
No,
anything
you
to
go
say.
ahead. I want to hear from Dev.
Yep, go ahead, Dev.
Oh, this is locked. They're both. They're stuck
Man-
with each other. They deserve each
Man,
other.
a few words.
But important ones.
Everyone's been hit.
Either way, this story just needs to have that final simple, not simple payoff, but a payoff that makes absolute sense in the world, and that match is
Like a
I want
clear
to
cut, clear, obvious payoff.
Because I want to see Seth Rollins move on. I want to see
something, please. Yeah, I'm
Right.
tired of this.
yeah.
I feel like
It's
Seth
been a
has
year.
been-
It's been with Paul Heyman since the end of night 1 last year, where he joined with Paul Heyman.
right.
So it's about
and then,
time.
and-
He's not Roman. He's not Punk. He's not a true Paul Heyman guy.
right.
And he got kicked out of the group.
I want to see Seth on his own again. Seth does great work on his own when he's not surrounded. And trust me, J&J Security was great. The Shield
Authority.
was great. The Authority, not so much. So
I was so
I would-
young watching wrestling, I didn't mind it.
but I would like to see Seth on his own again. He even remember with I forget what it was with Buddy Matthews.
Yes.
That whole thing.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I want to see Seth on his own. It seems like for the past couple of years, he's been stuck with somebody. Well, I don't want to say stuck, attached to somebody.
Sure.
So I would like to see this match happen so we can finally move Seth on.
Would you say that it was a waste with him being paired up with Paul at the time? Because we really haven't gotten too much of it.
No, and because it was telegraphed.
Oh, waste is
right?
probably a bad word to say about it, but I mean,
Well,
you know
right,
what
but
I
it
mean?
was yeah, I got you. It was telegraphed at WrestleMania last year because Punk had Heyman in his corner, but Roman had been with Paul most recently, and Seth was the odd man out, so you could see Seth's gonna get the guy on his side. I would have loved to make it a triple threat again, run the same match back this year.
Good call.
But it would have been Paul Heyman with Rollins, Roman winning the chamber, and Punk being the champion. Like all three men are in a completely different dynamic than they were last year, but run the same match back. And I thought it would have been fascinating. But we get 2/3 of it, so I'm on board with that. But
barring injury, of course. I mean, you can't really predict that. But I mean,
we all say this, and then Seth ends up getting into the chamber.
Then all
and
of a
winning
sudden,
you
get
that match.
There you go. Perfect.
Oh
so,
man, yeah. Moving on, Gunther, Rey Mysterio. Phil,
I didn't see it at first, but I'm locking it in. I am.
No,
I'm locking it in only because first of all, if Jericho was here, maybe we could have done something with that. But he's not. And I think that ultimately with Rey, the closest thing that Rey has in terms of the connection was with the LWO and when Dragon Lee was a part of all of that at the time. So that's the kind of way I would connect this match, and that's probably the only way I would be able to. So, I mean, it's a solid match for WrestleMania, and if this is truly going to be the final send-off of Rey's career, even if personally, selfishly, I would have liked it to be with Dom, it's okay. He's going to retire all our favorites anyway. So, I mean, you got to get it done when it's done.
Jordan? Gunther, Rey Mysterio, is it a lock?
I only say it's a lock because if you've been reading the tea leaves and listening to Rey Mysterio, he's about to hang it up. So
fair.
I think they're quietly going to do what Andrew has been hammering, and that is Gunther being the career. Yeah.
The career killer.
So when I say Rey is probably going to be done, again, he's been wrestling since he was 14. So he wrestles less and less already. I don't think they're going to do a big pomp and circumstance for when he goes. I don't think he's that type of person.
Not a Rey Mysterio retirement tour.
Yeah, no. I think Rey just wants to go. I think Rey would just be like, hey, appreciate y'all. So I have it a lock because, look who he's facing. Like, look who, not necessarily who he's facing, who he's faced and what has happened. Gunther's last major opponents both retired.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Dev?
I am locking Gunther's opponent against Bad Bunny. That's who he's going to retire at WrestleMania.
Wow.
That's insane.
You can't bet 1,000, Dev.
You can't.
You can't bet 1,000.
Swing
he's going to attempt to retire.
Randy Johnson threw a heater and you stood there.
That's the last match you'll ever see Bad Bunny in ever.
That would just be bad. That would just be bad. No.
Not Bad Bunny.
Just bad.
Just bad. Yeah, just bad.
What won't be bad though is a potential for this match. Now, I have a match that I'm going to say, and then I have a pivot or an addition if you want to,
variation.
Go the other way with it and add a third person to it. I don't know. Because I don't know what that third person is going to do either way. Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. But I also throw in parentheses, what are we doing with Royce Keys at WrestleMania? Because I could see a triple threat. I could see Oba versus Royce Keys if they build Royce up, or something there. Damn it, push these guys. Let's go, Phil.
I'm keeping Brock and Oba. I think that match is locked in for sure. What happens with Royce? Personally, I don't think that they would do it just for no reason when that man ultimately threw out a former world champ in the Rumble. It's a random kind of middle of the card match, but if you got Royce Keys and Damian Priest in there at WrestleMania, maybe you can do something with that.
Okay, I could see that. Jordan,
I don't see Royce has not debuted on TV yet. One,
right,
that's right.
So you have to do quite a bit of building to make him. This sounds messed up, but to make him worthy of a WrestleMania spot.
Fair point.
It doesn't sound messed up because in kayfabe you do have to be built up. No, I mean you can be the biggest star on the earth, but if you're not on TV in canonical WWE, then you're really nothing. You have to be actively on TV.
And this is nothing against the man. Not to say that he doesn't deserve a spot on a show. It's just again canonically kayfabe wise, I don't even know who he is. Yeah, I don't know who. So, I would love to see Brock Obafemi. I'll put it to you like this. If they give Obafemi this match, be prepared. He's going to have the biggest rocket on his back because that's
absolutely
that is a lot of faith and trust in a young guy. Giving him the spot that he had in the Rumble and then putting him in the ring against Brock Lesnar.
And I think he would win. I really think he would win.
He would have to, in my eyes, because I mean, why else would you do this?
I think Brock knows that he's probably wrapping it up sooner than later. And
most likely.
if you see a guy like Obafemi coming up, and you see that the company is building him very similar to how you were built when you were doing this 20 years ago, I think Brock, for whatever it's worth, does see that as he knows how to move the pieces for the future. So I would wager he would be willing to do that.
I could see Brock because if anybody's going to take me out, it's going to be the next biggest guy.
That's right.
Next big thing. Agree. It'll be the next big thing because I would, So yeah.
Here's the thing: say what you want about Brock, but he will sell the absolute hell out of everything that Obafemi will give him.
He'd make him look like $1 million.
And the thing is, that's the one thing. First of all, I do not like Brock Lesnar as a man or a human being. But in terms of anything, I know what this man has done for a lot of people in terms of his selling ability. Because honestly, he's a very underrated seller. And I will say that he's a very underrated seller. He makes you look like $1 million. He will do absolutely everything and beyond for Obafemi if this match happens.
Dev?
Oba versus Brock versus Ilya Dragunov in a 3-way.
And look, it's not going to happen, but damn it, do I want to see that happen?
That would be cool.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, but that's
crazy.
That would be the match.
Give me Ilya versus Brock.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Rumble. Hello. I mean,
I know that's what I'm saying. They could play off of a lot of stuff. I don't see why not.
You could. Yeah, it's a stretch, but you could do it. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at it.
All right, so those are pretty high on the list, I would wager. Now I have one more high-profile one, and then I'm going to do some rapid-fire ones. So the last high-profile one that I want to do, that's not to say the other ones aren't, but this, main event world title. Cody, Drew, Sammy, Jacob Fatu, Fatal 4-Way, the WWE Championship. Phil?
I feel like that's a lock based on what's happening right now on TV.
Okay.
But if I had the pen, if I had the pen, I would have already had Cody go up against Drew at the Chamber for the title, and then I would have had Randy win the Chamber so we can get Cody and Randy at WrestleMania. Because I feel like the never-ending meme of Randy Orton looking over Cody Rhodes' shoulder when he held that WWE title needs to end.
I agree.
And I think that would have just been a great way to cap it off at WrestleMania. But I feel like with everything that is going on right now, that's a lock for a fatal 4-way. And at least it's something different other than Cody versus Drew. Because we've seen that a million times. I don't
have.
So put other people in there, and it would give Jacob Fatu a really big moment at WrestleMania because he's been a really good guy in this feud between all the two of them. So there you go.
I would like to see Jacob Fatu win this because
I would love that.
hard.
I agree. And you think that's the match though? Fatal 4-way?
Yeah, I got it. I mean, you gotta lock it, honestly. Because like Phil said, if we're stuck between Cody and Drew again,
I don't think they're gonna do that. I think they know they gotta add someone. Then if you don't add someone, what are you doing with Sammy? What are you doing with Jacob Fatu?
I love that you put Sammy in there for that reason, because what are you going to do with him?
Yeah,
So
and Kevin Owens isn't available. So
I have it as a lock as either a 3-way between Jacob, Cody, and Drew, or a fatal 4-way, which would be really cool because WrestleMania 2000 was the last fatal 4-way.
McMahon in every corner, yeah.
So I think it'd be kind of cool, So but it's a lock for sure because you can't run Drew and Cody again. So it's a lock.
Dev?
I got Cody, Drew, Randy 3-way for the title.
That's another thing. We don't know. Orton, I don't think I didn't have Orton in this list because I quite frankly don't know what the hell they're doing. So you would do a triple threat between those three?
Yeah. And Randy would start punting people again.
So I've said the only way to get Orton as a true heel again would be to punt Cody because Cody's
right,
the last true babyface that they have, and if Orton does that to him, it's like, all right, well, we can't cheer Randy now, and they better hurry up and pull that trigger because Cody is the longer Cody does his thing, the more people are going to turn on him.
Yes.
And you want to get that, strike while the iron's hot there with Randy because you don't know how long Randy's going to be around before he gets fed to Gunther. I don't know, but I don't hate that idea, Dev. Orton is the mystery man here. The Chamber is going to give us a lot. But go ahead.
It's crazy that the punt is banned. Meanwhile, everyone's getting stomped.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Wasn't that banned for a little while?
It was because they were questionable on how people could, move it's uncomfortable to move your neck up in that bump spot. So they banned it.
And I heard that they were worried about potentially kids doing it.
Yeah, they were
others
and they've been doing wrestling news forever.
They was worried about the name of the move because curb stopping is an actual thing. Don't Google it.
Yes.
And
or
so
watch American History X.
Definitely watch that movie. But yeah, it's funny though because that's actually one of the safer moves ever.
For sure.
And
they're doing
flipping
pile drivers and they're doing all this
right. So interesting.
Like, hey, let's not do this. Very interesting. So I'm gonna give the last few matches here, but I want a quick yes, I would do it, or no, I'm not with it. So El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano Dos. Phil?
Book it. Yeah, mass versus match. You do it.
Book
Absolutely.
it. Mask versus mask. Book it. Yes.
Scrap it. Put it on NXT.
Oh, boo. Oh, boo.
Stand and deliver.
Stand and deliver.
Triple Mania or whatever.
Or Triple Mania.
I mean, hold on now.
Dev hit it. Dev nailed it. Bullseye. It's going to happen at Triple Mania because
you can do it there too.
You could honestly. That's probably where they would do it too. I'm not it makes sense.
It's so opposite too. I know you want it just quick, but it's so opposite too. Because in the WWE space, the tall version of Americano is getting cheered like crazy,
right?
Or getting booed like crazy in America, but getting cheered like crazy in Mexico. Reversed. So it's reversed here. It's crazy.
Okay.
Next, Stone Cold Steve Austin '98 vibes with him and Mexico like crazy.
I agree. All right, here we got some more interesting ones because these are where it gets muddy. I don't know who is where in these things. The Usos versus the New Day, assuming the new I think was it Xavier got hurt recently?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so if everybody's healthy, Usos versus New Day, why not run it back?
I'd book it because, quite frankly, I have no idea what else to do for the tag titles.
Jordan?
I would absolutely book it because those guys, every single time, it's a great match. So if you can do it, do it.
Dev? Can't
Book
wait to hear
it
this
here.
one.
Damn. Give it. Take
Yeah,
it.
there exactly. That's I would like,
Right.
especially now that they're
Here, damn match, yeah.
they're all veterans. Like it's cool to see like these guys still like hungry for a great tag title match on like a main show and not on the pre-show of WrestleMania, like the Usos
Or
were at
SmackDown
one
before
point.
Mania.
Or
They are the
yeah.
most equipped tag teams on the roster, so it's
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, not if you talk to Jordan. That's the War Raiders.
Hey, no, here's justice for the War Raiders, man. I liked those guys.
I'm a huge fan of War Machine, War Raiders, Viking Experience.
I don't want to get in that conversation that you guys had on that show because trust me, I watched it and I was like, man, that's actually kind of a heated conversation. But I was like, man, justice for the War Raiders, man. Eric, Ivar, what happened, man?
All right, next. Rhea Ripley and Io versus the Bellas. Bill?
Ooh. Yeah, I'd book it. I feel like there'd be more teams added onto it because there's
Probably.
just so many in there. But
we haven't gotten Dev's response yet. He's probably got the entire
he's
rest
probably
of the
got
division in there.
Yeah, and even maybe the entire AEW roster too.
Right.
But,
do a whole thing. Worlds collide.
But yeah, I mean, if they wanted to just do a solo, like solid, just random, like not random, but solid tag match in there, yeah, go for it.
Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, you don't really have you need people on the card. They deserve their main moment. Yeah, lock it.
Dev?
give them a ladder match. Let them cook.
Let them cook. How many teams?
Yeah.
How many teams?
Just them. Just the
just
that's
Riho
great.
and
Fellas
the
in a ladder
Bellas.
match.
I mean,
just to pour.
I will say that the odds of a ladder match happening at WrestleMania are very high. That
Absolutely.
whoever we don't mention in like the U.S. title, whatever Carmelo Hayes will be probably doing, that
U.S.
scene
title
will likely have a ladder match to it, and that's where Gimme Penta and Ray Phoenix and Carmelo Hayes and maybe Montez and Dan.
You know what? Yeah, returning Street Profits would be great for that. Yeah. Yeah, that would actually work.
Get them out of NXT live events, please.
So I am taking Bianca out of this because her recent surgery, which is insane. I'm glad that put the speculation away for. What is she just milking this thing, or is she pregnant? What's going on? Like, relax. Her finger's fucked up. Come on, get some sympathy. So she's get well soon. She's not going to be a part of this. But who does Jade Cargill face at WrestleMania? Bill?
First of all, get well, Bianca, because I had you locked in, girl. I did. I had you locked in.
I wanted that match for a long time.
For a long time.
But man, and technically, if she doesn't defend for the majority of the time, this would only be Jade's second title defense in her reign, which is disgusting. Crazy. I don't even want to go in there. And go Jordan Grace again. Go Jordan Grace again. The thing is, it's the most kind of relevant thing that you got going on right now between the two. And why? When they had those two stare face to face with each other when Jordan first showed up, I'm like, wait a minute. This could honestly be something for WrestleMania, because if they're having her stare face to face with that, you can do that. Or a little bit of a pivot, Charlotte, if that team splits away. Charlotte and Jade wouldn't be bad for me.
Jordan?
I would either pick. Unfortunately, I would pick Charlotte, or because I don't want her near the titles. So either Charlotte by default or Jordynne Grace, but I think it will legitimately be Jordynne Grace.
Dev?
Charlexa in a 3-way. They're both going to make their way into the world title picture.
Okay, and that'll
split.
Well, they can stay the
I
same.
mean,
and
I
be
could
in the
be a
match,
factor
and
with it. Yeah.
Best woman win, Then they can have a feud, and I kind of like that, and that'll negate one of my other options, which was Charlotte versus Alexa. If you want to put them in a triple threat because of maybe Bianca not being available and you don't know what you're going to do, I could see that. I could even see a fatal 4-way with Jordynne Grace, Charlotte, Alexa, and Jade if they wanted to pull that off. So
yeah,
we just doing all these multi-person matches as if it's nothing,
right? Like
that's normally how WrestleMania goes anyway. They got to get everybody on the card.
Like spamming a 3-way match doesn't work.
No. We've got one more then, and I think they're going to run this match already, but maybe they'll run it back at WrestleMania. But AJ Lee and Becky Lynch, Bill,
absolutely lock it in. Absolutely for me.
So you see a rematch between these two?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
I do not see a world where, and I really shouldn't expect it because this is her first match back in 10 years in a single capacity. I just don't expect AJ to win at the Elimination Chamber, but I just don't see this ending anytime soon. So run it back at Mania.
Jordan?
I would run it back at Mania, and personally, if it's not going to be the co-main of night one or the main event of night one, I would have it co-main night two. I would matter of fact, I would have it co-main night two because you could kind of play off the AJ and Punk relationship, something like that. So I think them kind of going on one after another would be a cool little thing for them, So but lock it in. It's gonna happen. Lock it in.
Dev.
I don't know if Dev is there.
I think it froze.
Dev's frozen.
Dev is
too many
gone.
triple threat selections. Too many.
Yeah, that's what happened.
He rocked the boat, and now the
black truck's gonna come get you.
It's over.
I'm Boogeyman.
The crate took him away.
Yeah, the crate took him
well,
away.
We will give a moment to see if Dev rejoins. We'll see if that'll happen. But until then,
say, do you guys see any potential NXT talent that will be on the Mania card, or maybe shown? Because you mentioned the Carmelo Hayes, like a ladder match.
Maybe in something like that, I could see
something like that. Yeah,
maybe. If I know we didn't go really technically over the U.S. title scene, but it may be another trope because of so many triple threat matches we booked here with this. But I did kind of have a triple threat going for this because I wanted possibly Carmelo, Trick, and Ilya. You can do a lot of stuff between those. You can have a lot of stuff between those three, and then
we didn't even talk about Trick and the fact that these guys have the history from NXT.
All three of those guys, and Ilya's been locked in that U.S. title scene for a very long time. At that point, those three at WrestleMania would create magic.
Dev, you're back. Audio, video, audio only.
It's just me, Oos.
Well, we're happy to have you back. Thoughts on a potential anything with Trick, Ilya, Carmelo? That's kind of what we wrapped up with. U.S. title.
Give me Trick, Mello, Javon, and save Ilya for Brock and Oba.
Oh,
that's
wait,
right.
Yeah,
Ilya's got a match at WrestleMania already.
Yeah, Ilya's got I kind of like that.
Javon in there.
Yeah, I kind of wouldn't mind that. That's
the thing. I keep forgetting that too. Like some of these guys are in the chamber. There's so much talent. We did like Priest, Logan Paul, Trick, Ilya, Javon, Bronson Reed. We didn't mention hardly any of these guys yet.
Yeah,
I would
I
wager a
feel
lot
like
of them are going to
booking
be a part of it.
three-ways has solved a lot of the hiccups that
Oh
we
no,
had.
not the hiccups there, eh?
God.
That's right. All because of
You're
Dev.
ridiculous.
Huh.
You are absurd, Dev.
Well-
Absolutely absurd.
You're ridiculous.
Oh, boo!
I told him he couldn't bat 1,000. But even batting
man.
500 gets you into the Baseball Hall of Fame. But
Question.
ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
Julia's never defended, or actually, no,
Oh,
I
yeah.
shouldn't say this. Well, yeah, Julia technically really hasn't defended, but the United States Championship of the women's division has never been defended on a WWE Premium Live event.
Oh well, maybe that's it'll
Maybe.
trip someone up. Maybe they'll come up with a match by then.
Maybe.
Maybe
Here's the
more
thing
than
with
likely
me.
it's like it'll be SmackDown before Mania or something.
That's what I was just gonna say. I think it probably would just happen on the SmackDown before Mania.
Yeah.
We didn't even say Tiffany in any of this either.
I know.
So I
Or
would say
Bailey or Asuka or like my God.
So I would say probably if you wanted to get that United States Championship a little bit more up in prestige, like what they were doing with the IC and Becky, why not do Tiffy versus Julia? I'd be perfectly okay with that for the U.S. title scene.
I have a hot take.
I wouldn't hate that. Let's hear it, Dev.
I think the women's IC and US titles should be unified. And
Yes.
that champion,
Wow.
that said champion should
Wow.
just go from brand to brand.
Okay.
Yes. I think. Yeah.
okay. Well, I say I agree with that purely because the tag titles are floating, and I think that's been good.
Yeah.
So I could see how that would work if you had the two singles titles combined.
Can finally combine. I mean, yeah, because we don't need personally. I just don't think we need like just direct 1-to-1s all the time.
And we know they focus more on the IC anyway.
Exactly.
Right. They had
focus
a lot more
on
with
that.
the US to start with Chelsea Green and Julia and everything. And then the women's IC got all the love with Lyra and Becky, and now we're getting some high quality stuff with AJ Lee as well. So you're getting the bigger names going after the IC title, which again, it's good to elevate them all, but you might get one that lost in the shuffle, and maybe that's where you combine them. We'll see if they give up on that as quick as they put it in, but you never know. WWE, they turn on a dime with ideas and giving up on stuff and not letting stuff breathe. But I appreciate everybody in here letting the juice box breathe for over 2 hours here. We had quite a few guests, quite a few viewers. We're talking about a lot of great stuff today. A lot of good conversation. Glad for everybody that watched and got involved with coming in here and talking. Before I close out with, I'm just going to run off a bunch of people to thank. Phil, where can everybody find you in your content creation journey?
TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, Phil Ouimet. For that last name, it's Ouimettee. I know it's French. I get it.
I love it. I love that last name.
But yeah, so it's Phil Ouimet on all social media platforms. If you literally just type that in on Google, you'll find me. It's right there. I'm literally the only thing that pops up in terms of pro wrestling and social media with that. So there you go.
He's covering all the markets. Jordan, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter at slick_flair91, as well on the Wrestle Collective, and that's Dub C Worldwide.
Yeah, and on No Dirt Just Dialogue. Thanks for plugging the other show.
Forgot. Yeah, you can also find me No Dirt Just Dialogue every Thursday.
Tomato.
Yeah,
always maximizing our minutes.
Yes, with myself,
every single one.
Juice here, and Andrew Baydala. Great show.
Box Baydala, as he dubbed himself when he came in.
Right.
His little name on there, Box Baydala.
Yes. Yes. Every Thursday you can catch us. No Dirt Just Dialogue. I believe 2 p.m. Eastern time. And
3 p.m. Eastern. It varies, but
yeah, 3 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, there it is. 3 p.m. Eastern, and the Wrestle Collective 6 p.m. Eastern time.
Dev, where can everybody find you and hear about your incredible triple threat takes?
Oh, you can hear about my incredible triple threat takes at the YouTube Wrestle Collective YouTube channel. You can find Credit Dev on Twitter. And I also have this fun app called Dropkick that's basically a rip-off cage match.
And
You can
Letterboxd,
see,
yeah.
see the worst takes of mine on that app in particular.
Where you can rate matches and discuss the like.
Suggestion 3 ways, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, why not? You know, you got the app. But I appreciate all you fellas being here specifically. I do want to say thank you, everybody that was watching, everybody that joined in, Advocate, Dev, Grumpy, Andrew Baydala came in, Jordan, Phil. Appreciate the support and enjoy your company every time we get to talk, whether it's on here or on Twitter. It is always incredible. And I would like to thank the following people. Hold your breath, people. For helping me here with the Juice Box over these many years. My chair shot brethren, Justin Labar, now a Busted Open, Josh Eisenberg, Brian Ghoulish, the Rev, Ron Hunt. I already brought up Andrew Jordan for No Dirt, Just Dialogue. For the SIP series, thank you to Sam Adonis, Conrad Thompson, Donnie Football, Adrian Hernandez, Wrestling for Sale, Tim, the owner of the Yeah Revolution Twitter account, Kyle from the Apron Bump, Josh Taylor from Wrestling Nation, the group chat, Lucas and Loper. Lucas, I know you just had a death in your family, and I really apologize. And hopefully you'll get, you and your family will get past that and be onward and upward with everything. And we hope to have you back for some AEW talk later in the year. Matt Presto, #1 supporter of the Juice Box, Triple Threat Theater, Donnie and Josh Cross, Main Event Maniacs, Brian, Jay, guys do great work. The guys that have had me on shows, the Shining Wizards podcast, love those guys every time I get featured on there. The Wrestle Collective as well, got to announce an award for those guys. Love talking the Wrestle Collective. Some of those guys were in here tonight, of course. Tom Talks Rubbish. He did an interview of me. So shout out Tom for that interview. Love that. If you want to check that out on his page. I was featured on the No Bones About Wrestling show with Asa and Kay, watching some old WCW. Blake Mitchamore, Corey Saunders, Jeff Lewis, Pool Party Gaming, PJ North from Around the Mat, and the man who created not just many different action figure molds and certain things for WWE, among other products and projects, but the man who helped create the very Juice Box logo you see right here in the style of Fall Brawl, the one and only Extra Cooler, Nick Camia. Shout out to him for his incredible artistic work. Without him, this logo would just be some shoddy bull crap that I made in paint. So shout out to him and everybody for hanging with the Juice Box. Like I said, I've been doing this stuff in general for a very long time. And now I feel like I've been able to find my groove as an entity amongst myself. And I've been doing this show, one new episode of content every single week since January of 2023. Nothing, no filler. We've had an episode a week, maybe 3 episodes in a week. But no matter what, something new each and every single week. So I appreciate the dedication from everybody and giving myself a little thanks because I like to be able to produce something new each and every week. I kind of give that credit to the Major Wrestling Figure podcast guys, Cardona, Brian Myers, Smart Mark Sterling. Those guys put out something new each and every week. Never something that they've already done. So that's the nice inspiration for me as a content creator. Juice. Phil, Jordan, Dev, appreciate you guys staying in all the way to the very bitter end. I am Juice Springsteen, at Juicy Steen on Twitter, at Juicy Steen on YouTube, at Juicy Wrestling Closet on Instagram. Check out all the WCW vintage t-shirts that I own. And listen to the show, juicysteen.podbean.com, Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If you listen to it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts via iTunes, leave a rating and review. 5 stars. It helps the show grow. And next week, 201, we're still rolling. We got the Elimination Chamber prediction show. Might be me, could be someone here, could be someone that wasn't on this podcast that helped me do that. But you'll find that out and much more as we celebrate and predict the Elimination Chamber card. But tonight was 200 episodes of the Juice Box. We'll see you guys next week. I'm Juice Springsteen, and I'll see you guys next week for another edition of the Juice Box. Welcome to the Juice Box with Juice Springsteen. Covering the week that was in professional wrestling.